gown. Whispers of love beneath the moon's sweet glow. He's here to guide you through the undertow. From tales of love lost and battles won, to secrets that hide when the day is done. He'll paint the night with stories so stark. Welcome to Family Law After Dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. The lawyer's voice smooth like leather. He's singing lies only he can tether. In the sultry jazz lounge, let the wisdom flow. Feel the rhythm in the late night glow. Through custody tangles and alimony strife, he navigates the drama of everyday life. With a wry wink and a cheeky remark, let's unravel family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark.
Happy Friday evening, folks. This is Omar Serrata with the Tilted Lawyer podcast. I'm joined by Bruce from Oregon. We're going to be joined later by a friend of the show, Jennifer Bradley, the world-renowned life and divorce coach. She's going to be dropping in whenever she gets herself situated. Melissa Pacheco is going to be maybe coming in. We'll see. And various others. We do need some female energy on the show. So if you guys, hey, what's up, Pacheco? Not Pacheco,
Hey.
De Castro. I keep forgetting. How you doing over there, man? You look like you're in prison. What is this?
I'm not even gonna say it. You know what I think.
I know what you think. You're looking very festive.
Yeah, pink. Okay.
Well,
we have on Wednesdays we wear pink, but I took it a Friday.
Melissa just told me that she might be on a rag or something. And so
No, which is
she might
post
be-
rag. It's way worse. I'm sorry.
I don't even want to know.
I don't have any
I'm
pink
sorry.
clothes.
This is TMI for a lot of people, but not between me and Omar. We joke about this all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I bought Melissa a cabinet. Wanted to buy her a cabinet. I bought her a supply drawer and stocked it with supplies for these times of things. Bruce doesn't have any pink clothes, but he does have pink underwear that he may or may not be.
What do you know about that?
Oh, I just guessed because he talks about antlers all the time, and he's got like a.
Okay.
He's
Omar's my secret shopper. He helps me pick out my underwear.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Oh boy!
Why are you doing flat so late? It's generally
It's an
like
experimental
10, 12.
change in time zone. Because it's Family Law After Dark. It's kind of weird that we do it like at noon. You know what I mean?
You should
and
be
it's
doing
more,
it like at 5, 6.
Well, on the East Coast, it is 6. It's like 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we're doing a Christmas stream tomorrow. You're invited to the stream, but you're invited to the house too. You could just come over if you want.
Your house?
Yeah, I'm having like a Christmas party live stream type of thing. Dominic's going to be there. My brother's going to be there. My mom will be there. You're invited. I'm inviting a bunch of
You're
people.
just telling me this now? At what time?
It just came together literally today.
This sounds like a pity invite to me. I don't know.
I wasn't
what
planning on
time?
inviting guests, but
I would love to see your family. At what
it's
time?
gonna be well, you can come over whenever, but we're gonna be live streaming between 6 and 10.
Okay.
It's gonna be a lot of drinking and shenanigans, and
Oh.
we'll probably do a version of Family Law After Dark.
6 to 10 p.m.
Well, starting.
I would love to see your mom in Family Law After
Wow.
Dark. Everybody has been asking for her, and she has
Chad
been
is
asking for it.
Erica, Chad is invited too. If you guys are local, just hit me up.
This might
And,
go past my bedtime.
In May. But
In
I don't
May.
know, man. I feel like Bruce is up like all hours of the day, man. You're like up. You're one of these like night owls.
What?
I don't know. Hey, Dominic, you have to be in. You have to be in this one, man. No, you have to get back on the stage. You have to be on mic.
Okay.
Just because. I want you to talk about how afraid you are of this death nut challenge that you're about to endure.
I think I got it. I'm not gonna lie. I can handle spices pretty good. I'm Mexican, so it's like it's part of my culture. So we'll see.
Okay. What's the hottest pepper you've ever consumed?
It's hottest pepper. I have no idea, but I've
Habaneros?
No. If he's Mexican, no, I don't think so.
What would you? Okay. What about you then? What's the hottest chili that you've ever consumed?
You're talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm a pussy when it's up to like.
Then why are you
like,
talking
really,
shit?
really-
You over here like talking all this shit.
I'm not talking shit. It's just that you are white. You are gringo.
I
He's
am-
Mexican.
Oh boy.
Don't even try to reason with me and tell me that you're not.
You are
are.
whiter than me. Look at us on camera. You're whiter than me.
Do not make me take my Colombian part out on you right now because let's see who's whiter than who. But
She's gonna hit me with a
anyways,
chancla. You literally have blonde hair, or pink, or something.
It's okay, Omar. I can get you into the white people lounge and you can hide out
Do
there
I get
with
white
me.
people privileges? I'd love to have white people privileges. Am I in, Bruce?
I can
don't
probably
say
get-
I have blonde hair.
I
Don't
could probably
say
get you a
that.
couple, but maybe not all of them.
Maybe not all. Well, I'll settle for what I could get. You know.
I know I
I'm
do
down.
really bad with spicy things, but Mexicans, they're like the kings of spicy.
Oh, I don't know. Well, my wife's dad is like that. He could eat whatever kind of effing chili. I gave him.
and it's like nothing. It's like
I gave him level 5 of the death nut challenge that we're gonna do, and he took it like a champ. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
it's not. It's amazing. They eat like very spicy things, very very spicy things. So they're like in the womb. I've known this because I have Mexican friends.
Dom,
No.
I want to see you withstand
You
them.
withstand them. Don't hate
Don't
me.
hate me. I gave you so many tips. What tips are you giving Dominic? That's bullshit. I want
No,
tips.
I think she's talking about the donos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Jocelyn? She already left.
Oh, I told her today was optional. I didn't think I was going to do a podcast today, and I decided to do one. And so she worked from home, and
Kids today.
I know these kids. They don't. What's with just coming to the office? How about that? But I adopt the European managerial style, where it's like, I just believe in having happy employees, man. You want to work from home? You need to take a mental health day, then effing take it. I don't need to
Omar, you
hear
have
about your
no
stories.
idea how many people give a shit about that.
Yes, I do, because I used to not always be a business owner. I used to be an employee.
Mhm.
Hey, Pam, if you wanted to jump in, you could jump in. If you wanted a link, we need female energy today. I'm still waiting on Jennifer
¿Y
Bradley.
qué
She's
soy
supposed
yo,
to come.
idiota? A man?
More than one, Melissa. Like more than. Do you want to be all the women? You want to be the mouthpiece for all the women for today's show?
No,
Oh, boy.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep quiet.
Paralegal Liz says, "Oh my God, I'll work for you."
Working with him, I have experience in that. Working with him was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I learned a
what's
lot.
that like, Melissa? You learn a lot, and you get a lot of leeway, and you get a lot of room to. I'm a good boss. I'd like to
Yeah.
think.
You are. No, you
Well,
are. I've
Amy
had more
Bunner
than
is
one
a-
boss. You're a good one.
That
Oh, I
Probably
referral
appreciate
went
that.
better than I thought it would.
Oh, I had fun the
Oh.
last time I did.
Which referral? What are we
The
talking
one
about?
the endorsement you just got, it went way better than I thought it would.
Oh, what? Yes, it did. Amy Bonner's going to call in. She had fun. Yeah, call in, Amy. Call in. You did really well on the last show. Matter of fact, last show I think that you were on, we had Jennifer Bradley on. You guys were like friends. 2 peas in a pod. Just like peas and carrots.
But you already covered the Menendez, or not yet?
I haven't done shit with Menendez, but we will. Well, I just haven't had the time, and it's been really busy over here. End of year stuff, you know. You know how I usually try to take all of December off? That wasn't happening this year. It was not happening.
It happened one year and it was bad. Then next year we repeated only the last 2 weeks, and it was even horrible. Remember?
Yeah. Well, the busier you get, you know, the more you're in business.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So here's a disclaimer. I did not select today's cases. Dominic was given the duty of collecting cases for us to talk about. I don't even know what the subject matter is, so we're just going to go rip into it whenever we're ready. Oh, Melissa took herself off camera. She didn't want to be seen eating on camera.
Wait, no, I did? Oh. I think it's the Wi-Fi.
Are you in your house or in your like your
No, I'm
conference
in
room?
Yeah,
The dungeon?
Conference, whatever. Yes, exactly.
I feel so oppressed. I'm looking at your walls. It's like you know.
I'll talk to you about this later. Yeah.
All right. Let us, you know what? Let us jump into the first case for the day.
Remember when you told me that my like happy and joyful self was gonna go away? I feel it died.
What did I tell you?
And my happy and joyful self was eventually gonna die. I think it did die.
Already?
Oh no.
That was pretty quick.
Oh, really?
Let me turn off my screen here so that it's
What can we do?
Oh, my fiance refuses. Wait.
Oh, is your fiance in there too?
No, I don't have a fiance. I have a husband. Wait.
Oh yeah.
I'm reading. Wait, he's coming with me tomorrow. I actually just texted him saying,
yeah,
like,
invite him.
and he's like, yes, let's go.
Come on. Yeah, he's invited.
Yeah.
Teddy, I missed that guy. He's probably gained weight, huh? I bet he's doing the married life thing now, so he's probably put on like a good...
Could you just freaking stop it?
What I do?
No, he told me this. He told me this a year ago before I got married to Lily. He's like, he's gonna put in husband weight, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you'll see. That's the thing.
Oh, happens to the best of us, man. What are you gonna do? He's not advertising anymore. What difference does it make?
He's not advertising anymore. Okay, he's not marketing himself. Yeah, nice. Okay. Am I the asshole for not selling my car? Even
did you want to read
fiance, fiance, that means it's a woman, refuses to sit in the front seat because my ex slapped. What the? No, you're not the asshole. I just called it, but keep reading.
All right, let me just let me set the stage.
Yeah.
I'm lost already.
Yeah, well, when Melissa reads it, like she she has a specific kind of inflection. So you have to like listen extra. When Melissa's working for me, like I had to like have her repeat things to me sometimes like 3 times. Like, I'm sorry, you said that. I didn't hear what you said. I really just didn't. Okay.
It's just an awkwardly written title, I think.
It is. It's not her fault. Am I the asshole for not selling my car even though my fiance refuses to sit in the front seat? Oh, Jesus Christ. One of these. Dominic, this is the one you selected for today's show?
Tell me it doesn't sound good right now.
It sounds pretty retarded.
Is she going to get bed bugs or something? Is she going to get cooties?
No, this is going to be like one of those like super jealous, I will not sleep in your bed. Your ex slept in that bed, and I know you guys did stuff. Oh,
I'm damn sure she is Hispanic. I'm sorry to all my community, but I am damn sure she is. But anyways.
I know the type, man. I've experienced with that type.
You're married with one. Shut up.
Yep. It is what it is, man. But she never went to this level, like with this one here, where it's like,
Omar,
I will not.
I've known girls who refuse, like you said, to sleep on the same bed as like their single guy's bed because who the hell knows how many girls slept there and yada yada yada. You have to get me a new one.
Well, then sleep on the floor because I'm sleeping up here. How about that? We want to play those kinds of games. What are we doing, man? Hey, is got Dominic, Bruce, Melissa. Oh, I'm sharing my screen. I thought somebody might have dropped in.
I mean, what did they think is going to happen? That they're going to become pregnant with fake twins if they sit there?
No,
they might.
An ego thing. It's an egotistic thing. Me as a woman can say it.
Yeah,
maybe they'll get crabs or something. What would you do, Dominic? If what do you mean ill? But yeah, it is ill. But Yeah, bed bugs or crabs. Aren't those like the functional equivalent? Dominic, what would you do if some lady said, I will not ride in the front seat of your car because that bitch was there last time and I know it?
Then I would
She was
just
like
tell her,
serious about it.
go ahead, sit in the back. I mean, I wouldn't really make a big deal out of it, but
Like, well, then you could walk. Or you
She's
could
going
Uber.
to proceed. She's going to proceed to slap you, Dominic. Just
I'm
saying.
driving
so
in
no,
this
never
car.
say it.
No, man. Oh,
What if all the stuff you just bought at Target is in the back seat? There's nowhere else to sit.
I'm going to just give my dad advice. If a woman hits you with that and she's dead serious about it, you need to take charge. Say, look, you're either riding in the front seat or you're going to stay here. And I'll call you an Uber. It's one or the other. And make her pick one. I promise you she's going to sit in the front seat. And if she doesn't, dude, you dodged the biggest bullet. You'll be
Okay,
fine.
how about this? Who sits in the front seat? Your wife or your mom? That's gonna cost
Wife.
people to cancel you. Oh,
That's not even
good
that's not even a discussion. Also, my mom's got her own car, but if it's like, hey, the wife sits in the front, everybody else sits in the back. That's just how it is. There's not
Good
even going to be
answer.
a discussion about it. It's just that is the order of operations. PEMDAS, right? That's the PEMDAS of it all. And Bruce is like, fucking guy.
Oh dear. What if like your father-in-law is very tall?
Well, if there's medical concerns, that's different. I would expect, the context matters, but if it's just a matter of we're sitting here for ego, look, I sit here, wife sits there, everyone else in the back, or take a different car. And we're not going to argue about this silliness. And then we're going to move on with life, and we're not going to make a thing of it. I feel like that's the move, right? Am I wrong? What would you do,
No.
Bruce, if your mother-in-law was like demanding to sit in the front seat over your wife? Hypothetical wife, obviously.
For what reason?
Just for status, just because I'm the mom. I'm his mom. I'm sitting in the front.
So if I say, why do you want to sit in the front? They're going to literally say, for the status of it?
I
to
mean,
my face in front of the wife?
there's literally a YouTube video. I know what Melissa was talking about. I watched a TikTok or YouTube video where there was literally a quarrel between the husband's mom, biological mom, and his wife his mom was making a stink about she's sitting in the front.
Oh.
I will not sit in the back. I'm his mom. I'm sitting in the front. And wife was upset.
I have the solution to what is it? The Kobayashi Maru? I have the solution. I will
What is
sit
the
in the
solution?
back and let one of those two ladies drive and the other one can sit in the passenger seat.
Oh, see, that's Bruce's wise way of dealing with it. I will not put up with it, man. It's like, I don't give a shit who sits here, but my wife is sitting here. You're going to sit in the back. Stop causing problems. We'll deal with it when we get there, I don't know if that's too aggressive, but I also know my mom wouldn't be that egocentric
Exactly. She wouldn't
to do that. But if she was trying to do that, I feel like the guy's probably at a disadvantage because he was raised by that woman. He's probably deathly afraid of her and has no ability to stand up to her. I feel like that's probably a thing. I don't know. But Dominic, as your dad, as your hypothetical dad, here's my advice. There is never a scenario where you give up your wife's seat next to you for a non-medical reason. If you sit to the left, she sits to the right. If you're in the driver's seat, she's in the passenger seat and vice versa. And if you deviate from that, then just look, you get what you get, man. Do it at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, we should probably read the case, right? So, all right. I'm
Yes.
27, engaged to my fiance who's 26. And while we're preparing for our wedding, something recently came up that's left me confused and conflicted. I want to know if I'm in the wrong here or if her reaction is unreasonable. I'm like in full-on dad mode right now. I'm not going to be sympathetic to this young lady. I might say some things that are harsh. I need it to be known that I am not the mouthpiece for all men. So if I express opinions on this show, I'm not speaking for Bruce. I'm not speaking for Dominic or anybody else. I am a specific kind of guy, and I'm giving my opinions from that perspective. And so please don't be offended when I go all in on this young lady, because I'm going to have things to say. I can feel it. Here's the issue. My fiance refuses to sit in the front seat of my car because my ex used to sit there. She says it makes her uncomfortable and feels like she's taking what's someone else's.
Did she buy him the car?
I feel like I got to read this sentence again. She says it makes her uncomfortable, feel like she's taking what's someone else's. Melissa, explain to me this logic.
I can't, Omar. It's ridiculous to me, and I'm a woman. But
These are
anyway.
your people.
If it was truly the ex's car seat, she would have detached it from the vehicle and taken it when she broke up with this guy. But she
Not
left
only
the car
that.
seat there.
If as
Fully
a guy,
bolted to the frame of the car.
exactly, it's a ridiculous premise to start with. But I feel like as a guy, would you be bothered riding around your new girlfriend's car because her ex used to sit in that seat, or would you just pee on it and make it yours? Not literally, but like figuratively.
I mean, you could use, well, are these leather seats or are these fabric seats? Because,
Matters.
you know, if they're leatherette, you can use the leather conditioning spray. But if it's
Absorption is the
fabric, you
thing.
got to use like Scotch Guard or something. I don't know. But you
I
could
just
do
feel
that.
like,
Febreze, then Scotch Guard it. I don't know.
I feel like men would never admit to this level of insecurity. What do you think about that, Bruce? Like, would you ever make it a thing that her ex was a threat to you in any capacity?
You know, if a half of my bagel falls off my plate onto the floor, but it doesn't fall cream cheese down, I'm gonna pick it up and eat it. So I don't think I really care about a car seat.
Hell yeah. I'm not sure if that was an answer to my question, but I'm running with it. I agree with you. Yeah. If it doesn't fall cream cheese down,
Yeah.
that is words of wisdom. That is words to live by.
Well, unless
Dominic?
there's cream cheese all over this car seat, I don't know what the problem is.
Ew. What if there was all kinds of white stains on the car seat, man? It's like,
Well,
oh,
that's what I'm alluding to here.
maybe you'd have to make your own white stains and just make it yours. I mean, you pee on it. It's like
Oh boy.
you look, if we're talking about who's the alpha male, you're already in the seat, man. Like, claim the seat.
I
Claim
don't
the
know if I
effing
would
seat.
use literal urine, but
Not
okay.
more figuratively, obviously. You know what I mean? But it's like
Figurative urine.
you cannot be threatened by who was
That in the
once
thumbnail.
before. Yeah, if you're going to be there and like be the guy, then you got to be the guy. And the guy is not intimidated by those that used to be and those that may be. Otherwise, you're not the guy. Then you're probably going to be friend zoned. I don't know, man. It's just. I'm not trying, I realize I'm probably upsetting some people just by saying that. I'm just saying there's a certain mindset that some men have, whether you want to deem it insecure or toxically masculine or what. I just feel like if you don't take that mode, is that unattractive? Melissa, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
What if your boyfriend were to say,
Okay.
I'm not sitting in that couch because your ex once sat there?
Let's see. Literally stupid. It's ridiculous.
Would it be like would it like be a turnoff? Would it be like make him like instantly unattractive? Like, what are you talking about? Why are you threatened by somebody that sat there once like years ago?
And I would first laugh thinking he's joking. And then if he repeats it, I'm gonna be like, is this for real?
Right.
And
Well, I
then
feel like
if
most
he
people
says
just
like, yeah, I'm like, my mind is going to gravitate towards the thought of this guy's gay as fuck. But anyways, Omar,
oh, Melissa,
I'm
you
gonna
work
be
with me
very
for too
honest with
long.
you.
Yeah.
You know my personality. You know how I am. You dealt with me for the past 5 years,
Yes, I did.
both personally and professionally, everything. You know how I can be. If there's
Yes, I
one
do.
thing I pride myself on is I've never made an issue on those stupid things. Like, I'm not gonna sit in that car because you took her there. I'm not gonna sleep on that bed because you did that. I'm blah, 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 blah. No. I'm
Yeah,
like, this
that's
is
true.
ridiculous.
You would not do that, but you do other ridiculous things.
Yes, but not that.
You would
Exactly.
go like you would spend $30,000 on the cauliflower decorations for a wedding.
Yes, Omar. Okay. We stop with the cauliflower.
All right. Let me continue with this. So, all right. So here's the issue. My fiance don't want to say, okay, like she insists on sitting in the back seat whenever we go somewhere, which honestly feels strange to me. Like I'm her chauffeur. I offer to sell the car if it truly bothers her, but she told me not to because it would feel like she's forcing me to do something. I would not put up with this level of pettiness. If she tried to sit in the back seat, it's like you're either going to get here and in the seat next to me or I'm leaving without you. You're not sitting in the back like that, like I'm your taxi driver. That might be an aggressive stance, but I feel like it's a necessary stance. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this minutia for the duration of the relationship and it's doomed to failure anyway. So what's the point? What do you think about that, Dominic?
No, I mean it's pretty out there, but it'll probably get the job done.
What do you mean the job done?
Like she'll definitely have to choose to either sit in the seat or get left behind.
Okay, but see, there's women out there be like, you're not going to talk. How dare you talk to me like that? It's like, look, it is what it is. Either get in the front seat or you don't come with me at all. But you have to take certain stances in a relationship. Otherwise, you're doomed to certain undesirable contextual states of I can't talk. You're doomed to a bad relationship is what you're doomed to. And by the way, if y'all wanted to leave us a voicemail, I forgot to put it on before, but it's now scrolling across the screen. 951-374-0315. Call, leave a voicemail, and if it passes Dominic's screening test, it will make it on with us. And then if you wanted to join, just call that number and tell Dominic you want to join. He'll vet you, and then maybe you could participate with all of us. It'll be a good time.
What if he rips the back seat out of the car?
That seems excessive. I'm not effing up my car on account of you. You're either getting in or you're out.
I mean,
one or the other.
That was my idea before lighting the entire car on fire and committing arson, which was my next idea.
Bruce, you're going kind of backwards with the wisdom. It's like, there should be no destruction involved in this scenario.
I feel like this question is good for bad advice, not for real advice.
I don't know. But let's just imagine a scenario where you're courting a young lady or an old lady, I don't know. And she is making this an issue. And you're like at the infancy of a relationship. You have to address it. Like, if you don't address it right away, it's going to become a bigger thing later. And so...
I think when we get to the next paragraph, it's going to open up.
Bruce always reads ahead, man. All right, let us continue to read. All right, so this is part of a bigger pattern. She's mentioned multiple times that she doesn't want to do things I've done with my ex, like cuddling on the couch during a movie or visiting places I've been to before. Okay, by that logic, so they're never going to ever have sex. We can't do missionary, can't do doggy style, you can't do cowgirl, you can't do reverse cowgirl, you can't watch movies together, you can't look. You
can't
cannot
go
have
to a gym together. You can't sleep together. I can keep going.
Yeah, it is a. I don't want to say that it's a young woman's logic, but it kind of is because most women grow out of this.
What's the over/under on this email being real?
I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1. I'll give 2-1 odds. It's probably real.
Really?
I've met ladies like this. I have in the course of my dating career, I've met women like this that made ridiculous situations or created ridiculous situations out of thin air.
Yeah.
I can see it being a thing legitimately, and I feel like, Melissa, tell me if I'm wrong. I honestly feel like women troll men with these kinds of bullshit situations to see how they're going to react, to test whether or not they're going to have the wherewithal to shut them down. You know? Is that a thing?
If the man is being tested and they should not be being tested, then that justifies ripping the back seats out or setting the car on fire. Checkmate.
Checkmate, bitch. Now we're just going to walk, aren't we? And you will hold my hand because you don't want to ride in the same seat as my ex or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if that's a checkmate against who, though, you or her. I don't know.
It's a it's a palliative victory.
Not with the ripping out of the back seats. I just feel like oftentimes when women make big deals out of these kinds of situations, more often than not, and Melissa, tell me if I'm wrong, but more often than not, these are tests to see how the man will respond. If he responds positively or in a way that she didn't respect, it could be a positive thing. If he responds negatively, which is to give in and just allow it to happen, you're setting yourself up for so much failure in the future because she's going to take that little victory and like move it into like other areas that it doesn't need to be. And so it's a moment of reckoning. I feel like it's a moment of reckoning. You're either going to put up with this or you're not. And if you don't, you win. If you do, well, you just kind of failed the test, and you're setting yourself up for failure in the future, is as much as I'll say about it. What do you think about that, Melissa?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I'm talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually a test, if I could be completely honest. It is a test.
You think it's a
Yeah,
test?
yes, it is. I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm a woman.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say if it was a test or not. That was
It
literally
is.
the thing.
It really
Yeah.
is.
All
Like
right.
the vast majority of the times it's a test. And it's really, honestly, we just want to sit there and see how the hell he's going to react, if he's going to make a big deal out of it, if he's just going to brush it off, if he's just going to laugh about it, etc., etc., etc. And really depending on the way the guy reacts, is how the relationship is going to move forward. I'm just going to leave it there.
Melissa's talking under her breath because she's like entrapped in her new employer's conference room. And so she's having to like speak very delicately and not be on camera. And so if she's talking like that, that's the reason why. I'm just saying. Melissa, I'm just going to ask you this. Give me an example of a time where you've tested your husband in this way.
I have actually a good one. When we first started dating, I'm going to be really honest with this. I have always been. I don't believe in, oh, exes can be best friends. I don't believe in that crap. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Unless you guys have a child, which is a different thing because I dedicate myself to family law, that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, you have to have a relationship with your ex. I mean, it's the mom of your kids. But if you don't, I don't believe in the, oh, yeah, we're best friends and we talk to each other every day and blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Stop it. So I do remember when I met my husband, he was like, I thought he was like super friends with this ex girlfriend, the one that came before me. But it was like I started noticing the pattern. It was a little bit unhealthy. She would call him every single day to speak. And then when we started dating, he started like not blocking her, but letting her know, like, hey, I can't talk, I'm not available, blah, 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 blah. And then I started noticing the pattern that she got upset. So I sat him down and I was like, I'm going to be really honest with you. This annoys and disturbs the F out of me. I don't like it. And if you want to have a relationship with me, this needs to stop. I'm not going to tell you to block her. I'm not going to tell you to whatever. You handle it the way you want to do it. So he called her and told her, like, hey, this is going on. I mean, she doesn't feel comfortable, and I'm going to respect that because I really like her and I want to pursue a relationship with her. And this bitch got upset. But like, Omar, upset to the level where she's like, I came first in her, yada yada. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, he stopped talking to her and that's it.
Well, I have a similar story of an ex that would do that kind of thing. Because you're right. There's no reason why an ex should be contacting you when you're in a new relationship. I remember an ex that I had, the crazy one from law school, would call me all the time, and like sometimes it'd be like, "Hey, I'm just calling you because I'm so super drunk, and I was gonna call you, or I was gonna call this other guy. Maybe I should call this other guy. What do you think?" I was like, "Yeah, call him." So what are you calling me for? And it would be like that kind of a thing. Like exes, there's never really any a good, like, what is a good reason why you would call your ex if it's not like I don't know, man. But you were right to take the position that you did. And people agree. Sarcasm, says Melissa. F. High five, heart. I think that's what that means. Oh, maybe that's not you. I think that's hello every. Never mind. You're not the Melissa that she was talking to. I apologize. Let me, you know what? I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to be joined by Jennifer Bradley here in a few minutes. Is Brad coming by? Brad just texted me. What does Brad say? Cards Against Humanity for party. Hell yeah. Hey, what is Cards Against Humanity?
Oh boy.
What is that, man?
It's basically a card game. So there'll be like the dealer plays a prompt or a question.
I played that once. I never understood it, but I know what it is.
Well, we're
And-
going to play it tomorrow, I guess.
The players have a bunch of cards, and you have to say what you think the best card in your hand that matches the prompt or is a good answer to the prompt. And it's very inappropriate things.
Oh, that's perfect for the Christmas live stream for tomorrow.
So, the prompt might be like something your mom would do. And then somebody might put down a card that's like, bang the milkman or something,
Bang the milkman.
Well, whatever. It's just, it's apples to apples, but with inappropriate cards.
Hey, Melissa, do you want to see the advert for tomorrow's Christmas stream? This is what I said. I sent this to Bruce.
Okay.
I said, hey, are you down for a Christmas live stream on December 14th? Christmas party live. You're not allowed to be sober. Lots of fuckery, tomfoolery, and ballyhoo. Clothing optional. I'll be doing the Death Nut Challenge with my brother as part of the festivities. That was the invitation.
That sounds like a brothel advertisement.
Bruce was like,
clothing optional?
Yeah.
I thought I was ordered not to wear pants.
No,
Sounds like
you're
the video
specifically
guide
ordered
is
to
now.
wear pants. By the way, you got to wear your clothes. You have to. You just have
Of course you have to.
to. All right.
Killjoys.
I know. All right. So we can't turn this into Eyes Wide Shut. We just can't. All right. So this is interesting. Whenever these situations come up, I skipped something. Part of a bigger pattern. I'm trying to be understanding. I'm not understanding that. You got to grow up or get out of my car. But I'm starting to feel like I'm being held responsible for my past, which I can't change. It's also confusing because she keeps in touch with her own ex. Oh, what the fuck? I did not. I missed. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
How did I not see that coming? Of course she still keeps in touch with her ex. Of course she does, because why else would she be so defensive about it? You know what I mean? By the way, I'm pouring, I'm finishing off this Jameson Black Barrel for today's live stream.
Is that the one I gave you, or did you already drank the ones I gave you?
No, I think that's the one you gave me. You gave me Jameson Black Barrel, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave you 2 bottles. I gave you like one with a green label and then one with like a brown one.
Oh, Stout Edition. Yeah, so this is one of them.
Ooh.
I haven't done Stout Edition yet. I just spilled it. I haven't done Stout Edition yet, but it's forthcoming. All right. So, what do you think about her keeping in contact with her ex?
Me?
And what it means when she says what she says to her boyfriend about not wanting to ride in the same car seat because of things that she or he has done with her ex in the
I
past.
think we know the answer to this.
Wait. Omar, say it
Yeah,
again. He has contact with her?
She has contact with her ex.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one making the big deal about the
Yes.
ex riding in the front seat of her car and refusing to. My thought process tells me that either she's still banging her ex or wants to bang her ex or is keeping that option open, which is why she's so defensive about it when it comes to him. What do you think of that? All right.
Wait, I'm trying to read.
Oh, you're trying to read? No, so she says this. She says, I've tried to be understanding. It's also confusing because she keeps in touch with her own ex, occasionally texting or calling him, which I have no issue with as I trust her. This guy is a dumbass.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
They're
boy.
banging. 100% true.
Oh, no.
Oh, Starkhansen with the 2 says, why was he the only one who got the invite? Who? Who's the only one? Got what invite? What are we talking about? What invite, Pam? Oh, no. Bruce was not the only one. Bruce and Brad both got that invite. And those were the only ones that I sent the invite out to. I didn't know if I was going to actually do the show or not, so I haven't sent out further invites. But you are obviously invited to the invite. You know what? I'm going to send you that invite right now.
Oh.
Pam is invited to the hijinks and whatever I said. You know what? I'm going to copy this message.
To the Diddy party.
Who said
Oh,
Diddy
no.
party? Was that Dominic? It is not going to be a Diddy party.
Hashtag too soon.
Oh, it is not too soon. That shit happened years ago.
Well, for us to find out.
Yeah, for sure.
Although there were podcasts talking about it early, at the beginning of the year. Speculating anyway.
I think I did a podcast at the beginning of the year about the Diddy thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you
long
did.
before.
Yeah.
It
It was probably in response
on that
to
one,
what I'm
Melissa?
talking about.
Omar, I think that was the last podcast I did when I was in your office.
Oh, how sad. How sad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Melissa is having an emotional holiday moment.
I already
think we
told you,
should,
I'm part of my rag. But anyways,
Oh boy. I don't even know. I got some Midol over here. If you,
Oh, boy.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is part of the bigger process. Whenever these situations come up, she tends to withdraw emotionally, avoiding physical attention, not saying goodnight, being distant. While I love her, I want to work through this. I'm starting to feel like I'm walking on eggshells around her emotions, especially when they're tied to things I can't control, like my past. And he does a too long do not read or did not read recap. Here's what I would tell this young man. He is placing far too much value on her and trying to do the right thing in communication and doing things with her when she's clearly either not that into him or still into her ex or just a huge giant walking red flag. I guarantee you, if he was to propose marriage, and I don't doubt that she would probably accept.
They're already engaged.
Oh, shit, they are.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Details.
Oh, no. Oh, brother, you got to get out, man. You got to get out of this. You got to get, there's no scenario where you don't end up in my office in a couple of years. I don't know, man. I feel like he's just engaged to a big, giant, walking, thieving red flag. Bruce, agree or disagree?
Well, the question before us is he the asshole? And my answer is no, he is not.
No, he isn't. And I called it before even reading it.
You did. Let us ask the deeper question. Should he marry this lady?
No, he shouldn't.
This 26-year-old child.
That's a child. One, that goes against your advice. Two, like they're already engaged and everything, and she's bringing this up. I understand she has insecurities because I'm a woman. We all do. Everybody does. But I mean, this is childish and stupid.
What would your insecurities be?
I'm not gonna say that in camera, but anyways, we all do. But I mean, this is childish and stupid, to be serious with you. And that's the first thing.
It's
If
not
you
going to get
marry
any
her,
better.
some other things are gonna come up. For example, let's say his mom says something related to his ex, whatever it is, she's gonna make a huge freaking deal about that, and so on, so on, so on.
Sorry, Melissa. I was getting a text from
You dissociated.
I did not dissociate. I heard what you said.
He was distracted.
Yeah, I'm distracted. I'm a little bit distracted. Anyway, Doc K says, yeah, no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah. Sarcasm gets, what does that mean?
Good to see you.
Oh, I've never considered what that meant before. Okay, I think we're done with this one. Let's move on to this next one. Let's see what else Dominic wants me to talk about.
I'm hip
Hey,
with
Dominic.
the kids.
I rate
I know
rate
what's
that
up.
one. How was that? That was a good one, I think.
Oh, you thought it was a good one? Bruce, do you think that was a good one? I guess the chat should be the arbiters of that.
I mean, I thought it was good in that it was so absurd. I just turned it into a bad advice.
Good and it's absurded. Yeah, he said, rip out the car seats and burn the car. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
You want to test me? Let's go.
Hell yes. See, you don't mess with older men, man. We won't play that. We don't play that shit. That's not flying with Bruce. It wouldn't fly with me. So you play that with young men. If young men if they choose to engage, you get what you get. And what you're gonna get is this young lady that is well, she's still banging her ex, probably.
Why
I
is
don't know if she's
everybody
doing that
in
or
all
not.
the letters we read banging someone behind the scenes? It
Everybody's
seems like a
banging
common
everybody.
theme.
It is human
Yeah.
nature to bang.
Mhm.
You know,
I'm just
I don't
over
know,
here
man.
Didn't you
with
see the
water, like
videos of
not
the
banging
girl
anyone.
that tried to bang 100 guys in 24 hours?
Oh
I
no.
did see that. Jesus.
Oh yeah, I applied for that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
You missed the $1,000.
Oh,
Poor
It's
Dominic.
my turn. It's my turn, sir.
you were 101 on the list. You just missed the cutoff.
Dominic, don't worry. She did another one for 1,000 guys in 24 hours. You're gonna
Oh
apply to
yeah,
that one.
Could I
that's
just ask a
next year.
question? Could I just ask a question seriously?
Mhm.
How does that even physically work without you
Okay, she
becoming
did the
like?
math. She did the math, and how do I say this? She was not stupid, but she was stupid. Omar, you know how much she paid each guy, or I think she got paid. Each guy got charged $1,000 to do that. So if you do the math, she got $100,000 from that.
Oh,
Aside from
she's
that,
charging people to do that?
she was charging men, and they
Why would you pay
paid.
for that?
Okay,
What, you want to be number 585? Hey,
Omar.
Jennifer, what's up?
Oh,
I made it.
You came in
Omar,
at
a
like
lot
a
of men
perfect
pay
time.
for sex.
Okay,
I didn't
A
think-
lot of men do that.
I
Okay,
didn't
but
think you were asking why they would do it. I thought you were asking how they would do it.
well, I'm asking both. Okay,
It
so
was
my
5
first
minutes.
question is,
And I was like,
She
have
did-
you ever
she did
been
the
on a
math.
cruise
It was
ship?
5 minutes.
Jennifer, you missed our whole first hypothetical. We're about to get into
I know,
our
I'm
second
so
one.
sorry. I'm like getting
But-
pissed off tonight about the internet, but I'm
Oh.
better
Oh,
now.
no, you're good. You're good.
Good here.
There was
Omar,
this
have you ever
lady.
done a cruise ship?
Yeah, once.
You
Once.
know how there's like one ramp on the cruise ship when they pull into port, and you have
Yeah.
to put all the people on and off real quickly through one door.
Yes, I do.
It's like that.
Wait a minute. I got two going on. Y'all bear with me.
Oh, Jennifer's having issues.
Oh, shit.
Well,
No, hang on. That's my fault. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, you sound much better now.
Well, you know what? I had you on, like your show on. That's why.
Oh, in the back there, you're good.
Ding dong.
The echo thing.
Quality.
All right, so here's a scenario, and I have two questions. There's this lady that wanted to be banged by like 100 dudes in like an hour or something. Is that the,
In 24 hours. 24 hours.
100 guys in 24 hours? My
It's
question
5
was
minutes.
twofold. So they get 5 minutes, whether they finish or not.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes. She did the math. It was
Did
5
she get to
minutes. She would put a
pre-screen-
timer.
Does she pre-screen the penises?
Omar, I don't know. All I know is that it was 5 minutes, and she has an OnlyFans, and she recorded all of this for her page. So
Of
aside
course.
from getting 100K, she also gets the revenues from that content. So
Because I
she's
feel like Stephanie
stupid.
says that, okay, was her criteria small and quick? I feel like, yeah, because they shouldn't be like endowed because you'll be injured. Like you got to last for 100 dudes. Like, shouldn't you pre-screen the penises before participating?
I
Second,
don't know her criteria.
Well, my second question would be, why the fuck would you pay $1,000 to be like guy number 67?
Omar, you know how many people in the world pay for sex? A
Yes.
lot.
Still, but like they could pay for sex without being number 67 is my point. Like they could be like the one and only that I don't know how it works.
Maybe
A
they
lot
I'm
want
of
to
just
be.
people
saying,
don't give a
like-
crap.
I don't know, man. That just sounds kind of gross. Like,
Yeah, we got to
what
get
is-
spot 69 for Dominic here.
Right?
Dominic was down, man. He's like, I'll be number 69. Fuck yeah.
And now she made another. She did good on that, and now she made another one, which is 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
Well, there's this lady that's made like $40 million on OnlyFans that Stephen A. Smith was talking about. And one guy paid her $5 million to like, I don't know, he paid her $5 million. There's guys out there that do this shit. I just don't understand the psychology is my point. I don't get it.
I don't either. Well, I don't get
Jennifer?
the woman side of it either.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, if I told you you could make $50 million, but you got to bang 100 guys in 24 hours, how do you go about doing that? And would you even accept
I would not accept it. I'd
for
rather.
$100 million?
I don't know.
24 hours?
That's
Omar,
$1 million a guy.
Maybe
Omar, how
24 days.
24 days.
Oh well, no, you got to.
She's going to enjoy
You got
herself,
24
Omar.
hours,
Look
man.
at this.
I don't.
I don't think so, y'all. I really don't.
Paralegal says, I'd say no, sir, no amount of money. Yeah, I get it. But what if Elon Musk says, I will give you $1 billion?
Omar,
Oh, boy.
I
Yeah.
forgot to mention, since I'm not in the office today, taking calls is going to be hard because I don't have the access to the roadcaster. So I'm going to just, somebody wants to tune in. Can I just invite them through the link so they can join via link?
Just make sure you vet them. Make sure it's not anybody weird is all.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'll trust your discretion.
That's
Hey,
too
you
late,
had
I
to vet
think.
me before I could come on, guys.
Yeah, but Jennifer is like, she's already been on the show once. You know, we had a good time last time she was here.
I loved it.
We're pretty
I've been
weird,
meaning
though,
to invite
already.
you
I
back
mean,
on. I just shit gets busy and you know,
I know, me too.
forget
And I
things.
keep meaning to say, hey, I'm coming back on tomorrow or whatever, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
come on in.
I know. I
yeah.
could just pop right in.
We need you to balance out my toxically masculine energy and Bruce's antlers.
Yeah,
This
Omar,
is
if I had an OnlyFans, how much money do you think I could make on there? $5, $10?
I don't know. Do girls pay for OnlyFans? Is that a thing? I feel like
They don't have to
you
stand up and turn around for us, Bruce.
Oh,
you'd probably do better if
Didn't
you
I
like
twerk last time?
presented as gay. You
I
know?
already- what? Oh,
Would you be gay for pay?
I'd have to go after the male audience, the male gaze.
Yeah, just take pictures for
Oh.
them, and you'd probably do
Really?
better than trying to go the straight route. I don't know. I'd imagine
Oh.
guys spending $5 million in OnlyFans. Jesus.
I mean, I guess if you put something up there and somebody pays, you would not know who they are, right? Like you don't know who.
you could pretend. You could have AI interact with them. You don't have to interact with them.
AI moose.
The
I
AI
don't-
moose.
I don't know OnlyFans. I mean, I do know of it, but
Well, everyone knows of. I just don't know how it works. I don't understand why it works. I really don't. I genuinely don't understand. I just feel like if Bruce wanted to start an OnlyFans, he'd have better luck presenting as a gay. And that way,
I think it's just you put. I think it's like Patreon, except you put, pictures and videos with sexy time instead of regular pictures.
all I can tell you about OnlyFans is there's legit women that make $50 million a year on that site. Why? I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let's get into this next case. Gosh, we've already been talking for almost an hour,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so
How the
sorry I
time
was
flies.
late.
Oh, don't worry about it, Jennifer. I told you it's cool to be late. No
I know,
worries
thanks.
on that.
Well, I always
this
say I
is
was
a-
born late, so I'm always late. So there you
I was born late too, until they made me show up on time, and then I had to. All right, so this person wants to know if they should break up with their boyfriend. Let me share my screen.
go. I like
Well,
these questions.
Let's see. So this is going to be a bit all over the place because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm feeling. Hence this post. Could I just give you guys words of advice? Don't ever use the word hence. It is not 1920s. You sound like a big douche.
What about henceforth?
No, henceforth, forthwith, hence. You're an asshole if you talk like that. All right. My boyfriend's 22. I'm 20. She's a youngster. By the way, Jennifer, Dominic pulled these cases for me. I have no idea what we're talking
Okay,
about.
good.
I'm seeing it for the first time, same as you. Have been together for about 1.5 years, and I love him literally so much. Literally. She loves him literally so much.
Oh dear.
We met on Tinder. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Friends with benefits met
I
on
mean-
Tinder, and she loves him so much.
well, it's still a better love story than Twilight.
I've never seen Twilight, but
Me
you're
either.
probably right.
Just a bit.
It's kind of weird that you have seen Twilight, Bruce. I'm just saying.
It's just a stand-up bit. Come on, I'm working on my material.
All right. So, but, when I realized I had feelings for him, I told him it was too hard to be having sex without anyone. What? Okay, I told him it was too hard to be having sex without anything more.
What? Oh,
She
she
wanted
wants
love.
to be
It
more
was-
than friends with
period.
benefits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. She wants emotional connections. A few months later, we started dating, and I was so incredibly happy for a long time. A few months ago, I started to doubt whether I was still attracted to him. Oh, it happens so quickly, doesn't it? And I found that I wasn't really enjoying sex anymore. Oh, boy. youngsters. I got the birth control implant a year ago and thought maybe this was just affecting my sex drive, but it wasn't. I wasn't sure. A bit of important information. This is my first ever relationship.
Oh boy.
I really am learning as I go. And I don't really know what I'm supposed to be feeling. All right. I understand. I'm also bi, but I've never been with a girl before, and I'd really like to be with a girl, explore that a bit. So it's hard for me to tell if I'm not interested in sex in general or just with him. I talked to him and told him I just wasn't as interested in sex currently, but he was totally fine with that. I'm struggling a bit with feeling like I may be missing out, and I think I may continue to feel this way if we stay together. Before I go into the next paragraph, I'm going to tell her that she's 20 years old, and you are 100% missing out. You have no idea on what you're missing out about. If this is the first guy, Jesus. The 20s, your early 20s especially, mid-20s, whatever, your entire 20s is for exploration to figure all of this shit out. There's nothing wrong with you having these questions of confusion, for feeling bored with this guy. He's 22, you're 20. You're never going to get physically better than what you are now, presumably. I don't know what people do, but look, it's all downhill from here. If you're already sexually bored, that's not going to go away in the next 3 months or so. And
Dear Diary, today I went on my first date. I met him on Tinder.
And we were FWBs, but I craved an emotional connection. I just felt that we were two peas in a pod. And so I wanted what I wanted. And then I got bored because we've been having sex for like 2 months. And I just feel like I needed to change things up a bit. Also, I might be bi. Oh, the sex is not
bad
bad.
Now, but maybe with a girl, it would be better.
Try with a girl, invite her in. If I was my 22-year-old self, be like, oh, you're bi? Fuck yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll go and I will find you women. And then we could all
There's a lot going on
together.
here.
Oh, there is. I haven't finished it. I just had to get that. All right, she has a lot to say.
The TLDR is that she's unsure if she's attracted to her boyfriend. That's the number one thing here.
I can tell her unequivocally because she's not. Attraction is a funny thing when you're like 20 years old. You're attracted to everybody.
That's right.
But attraction, as you move on in a relationship, if it doesn't extend beyond sexual attraction, it's not attraction at all. You get bored then. You will get bored with I don't know, name your celebrity crush. You will get bored with them within a matter of weeks. At some point, it becomes stale for everybody. If that is the extent, I know. If that is the extent of your attraction, you're going to be sorely disappointed when you become bored. And it's like, gosh, like maybe I just like want like a brunette some days. Like maybe I don't want blonde Fabio. Maybe I want somebody with dark hair. Maybe I want somebody with a smaller penis. Maybe I want somebody with a bigger penis. Maybe I want to, like, I don't know, try the BDSM thing. You don't know shit about what you don't know about. And so if you have those curiosities, and of course you do at 20 years old, you're not going to be sexually attracted to somebody the same way that you would somebody new for very long. So if the attraction doesn't extend further up the trough there, then hey, it is what it is. The key is finding somebody that you're willing, and I'm not even saying this for everybody. If you have designs on building a life of marriage and children and all these things, then the kind of attraction that you need to get accustomed to is that exists outside of sexual attraction, because that runs out the quickest. It's like burning one of those sparkler lights at 4th of July. It's over in 30 seconds, and then what? If that's the extent of it, it's gone. You got to be attracted to their mind, to their DNA, to their hobbies, to their things, to the person they are, their character, all these other things. And you don't have, you know what? Don't feel guilty for not feeling that at 20. You don't even know who in the F you are, let alone who he is. And you're not going to for like a number of years, maybe until you hit 30, 27, 25, I don't know, but not 20. You can't even legally drink. What are you doing? So do not despair about your lack of attraction or the dwindling down of attraction. That doesn't mean you don't like him as a person. But yeah, you're not as sexually attracted to him as when you first banged. That's just human nature. It's just how it is. And I'll tell you what, it's a dirty little secret that some people never graduate from that level of attraction. Some people are only attracted to people that they've never banged. And they spend their life on this constant quest of finding new people to have sex with because they can never develop deep connections with anybody outside of sexual attraction, which is the lowest base level of attraction that you could possibly have. In the course of your 20s and even going into your 30s, you're going to become attracted to people for so many different reasons. You're going to be attracted to them for their wisdom. You'll be attracted to the way that they talk. You'll be attracted to the way that that their physical fitness. You'll be attracted to their intelligence. You'll be attracted to their dorkiness. You'll be attracted to the way that you guys are both into Fortnite. There's a million different reasons, and they don't have to be logical, but why you're attracted to one person or another. And if you don't develop those deep levels of attraction to somebody and all it is sex, well, shit, that's over pretty quickly. The first night, you bang the first night, maybe you go multiple rounds even. And after that, then what? Then you're going to do it again. It's not going to be as fun was the first time around. So if there's not anything keeping you there, then it's gone and done with. And it was a one night stand, or it was a friend with benefits, whatever. But it is not a relationship. It's not the reason to marry somebody because they're attractive now. What about when they're 80? You're not going to be banging them the same way that you were. I keep saying banging. I apologize. You're not going to be having the same experiences that you would when they were in their 20s. You get old. You change. Your chemistry changes. Your body chemistry, your attractiveness changes. Yours and his. I promise you, he's not as sexually attracted to you now as he was at first, because back then you were a novelty. You were the unknown. You were the unexplored vagina. And now you've been explored. That means you're not as valuable or as attractive, at least on that level. So if there's not something else keeping him there, then he's going to walk. Obviously, he likes you enough. You guys have this relationship, whatever. Your sexual attraction is dwindling. You got these other curiosities. I'm just going to cut it short, man. Go explore your curiosities. Fuck this guy.
Okay. I thought the girl, okay, wait a minute. The girl's 20 and the guy's 22. Is that right?
They're both youngsters. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're both babies. Oh, just, okay. Male is 22, girl. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. I needed to go back. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And not to say fuck this guy like he's a bad guy. It's just like, look, if he were to try to, for the sake of nobility, stay with this guy because it's the right moral, ethical thing to do, you're going to have a sexual itch that you'll never have ever again because you're in your 20s, and you're going to end up probably cheating on him or really want to because of all of the things that you haven't explored. And if you guys end up married, like some people do, they get married when they're like 19, 20 years old, and now you're like 37, 38, you're going to resent him for all of the experiences that you never got to have because you stayed loyal to him. And guess what? He didn't turn out to be what you thought he was going to be. He's just a normal guy. And you're going to end up divorced anyway. And so get it out of your system. You're in your 20s. Have a good time. Bang all the people you want to bang. Be safe when you do it. Explore all of your sexual innuendos, peccadillos, whatever it is. Have a good time. Live your 20s. Live your life and feel no guilt towards any of it. Maybe start thinking that way when you hit 28, 29, 32 years old maybe. And it starts to become more of a thing because now you know who you are. You've gotten all of those experiences out of the way. And you can now manifest yourself as a relevant relationship, lifelong partner to some other person that's also got it out of his system, who's done the whole thing where he's had all the friends with benefits and all the one-night stands and been with all of the things and tried out all the things that he wanted to. Now he just wants to settle down. Now you guys could build something and a foundation for something that will last. But you guys are building this on quicksand. It's not going to last. So look, nothing against this guy, but do what you want to do. Do not invest yourself to this guy, forsaking all of your unexplored desires, because either you're going to get split up now or 15 years from now. Get it out of your system and live life and be happy. What do y'all think of that?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Amy? For the first time, I don't know if you've been listening to all of my whole rants. I went on a rant and everybody went silent on me. And so I was unencumbered on my rant. And sometimes that's a dangerous thing.
I was
have
gonna
been.
say
I've been
something
trying to
like,
get all set up. I've been struggling over here.
me
I'm
too.
visiting my parents, so and I'm trying to use her computer, and so I'm just on my phone instead of the computer.
Oh, you're
'Cause-
completely good, man. You're under no requirements to have like the ideal technology. You're fine.
So
But
Omar,
what?
I was gonna
Go
say,
for it,
go
Jenna.
ahead. Oh, okay.
Mm.
I was gonna say, yeah, 22 years old, you really don't know what you want. You think you do because society used to be a little more, oh, you should be here and there at certain ages. I don't think we're there anymore. I think, most people are, it's better to get your experience and, you're mature a little bit more than you get married.
Yeah.
Or settle to a serious relationship. And yeah, she's at 20 years old and she doesn't know like her sexuality really, or she thinks she wants both, whatever. Don't ask for like a serious relationship, just fuck around until you're ready do you find
Hell
that
yeah.
person. I told
And there's nothing wrong with it.
no, there's not. I told a guy I dated for like 2 years straight, 2 years off and on, and asked me to marry him, and I told him no, and this was in my like late 20s. And then we reconnected years later, just we're friends now. And I said, dude, if I would have married you, I would have cheated on you like fucking crazy.
Probably.
I know I would have because I didn't get all that out of my system, until
I feel that.
yeah, I still I got it out of my system now, but yeah, no, not then. I would have cheated on him like a mo.
Well, you've seen one penis, you've seen them all, or all the shapes and sizes.
Nope.
And,
Nope.
I've seen a few, and there's some that are not pretty.
Yeah, well, at least you've experienced all of the
definitely.
different kinds of shapes, and so you're willing to live with what you have, and you
I don't know though.
I don't know what y'all have experienced. I'm making assumptions.
We could have a whole other conversation about that one day if you'd like.
I'd rather not. I don't need to experience penises.
I'd rather not experience 24 and 24 hours or whatever you said earlier.
124 hours? Jesus.
Oh my God. She's asking
That's why I'm
for
saying
it.
she better be pre-screening and make sure that they're all small and quick, like Stephanie B said.
No
you need
doubt.
a minute man. Yeah, a little minute.
You don't need a marathon, man.
No, not for that task. I mean, they have their time and place. That wouldn't be the one.
Nope. That's not it.
Amy, what do you think about my rant that I went on with this 20-year-old lady here questioning her attraction to her boyfriend?
Are you talking about the first one or this last one? Because I've kind of been running around for this last one.
Oh, you're good.
So
I won't make you comment.
I've only caught the highlights, but I did have a comment for earlier in YouTube. Apparently didn't like it. About the girl not wanting to sit. I was going to say, but I'm the one sitting on his face now. So there's that. YouTube didn't like that comment.
Oh, what was the comment? I don't understand. What was the comment?
I said I'm the one sitting on his face now, not her.
YouTube can't they wouldn't let me say I'm going to light the car on fire either.
They didn't like that comment. I was like,
you're not allowed to sit on faces on
you're
YouTube.
no fun, YouTube.
It's bad form. I don't know, Bruce. What do you think about all this, man?
In general, I think you're correct. Hence, they should break up.
What a dick.
Henceforth.
Right.
Hence, they should break.
Well,
they should break up forthwith.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think at like 20, 22, I mean, whatever, even sometimes when you hit 32, 30 years old, not 32, but I think sometimes like you don't appreciate somebody's inside beauty, or inside personality. To me, sometimes makes the person more beautiful or hot or whatever than they are really on the outside. So you don't even appreciate that in your 20s.
Yeah, but like in your 20s, like everybody's hot, like everybody's like in their like peak form. Like, why would you care about their insides unless it was like the insides of their vagina? You know what I mean? Or like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like you're distracted by all of everybody in their peak form, and those are your sexual options. As you age and you need to look, you're living your life. You got to level up in life. At some point, you got to pick one. If that's what your designs are, you start having those conversations with yourself when you start figuring out who and what you are and what you like. That's certainly not going to come at 20 years old.
Right. But, and even to be completely open, you can pick one, like, let me think here. Oh my God, I just lost what I was going to say.
God, I'm the queen of that.
Thank you. I do too. I do it all the time. My ADHD is like,
Same.
but I was gonna say, like, okay, pick one. Do you want a relationship or not? And it's okay if you want to like have both, but make it clear. Just say, hey, I'm confused.
Yeah,
but I'm confused and I don't know if I want a relationship, but I really want to be loved. So, like,
well,
me
I'll
or
tell
not.
you what. From a male perspective, Bruce, maybe you could look. I got married when I was 22 years old once, and that ended disastrously because I had no business getting married at 22. But I feel like men, when they go on this trajectory when they're young men, and they're taught that you have to do this and you got to build your career, and then you get the wife, and then you have the kids, and everything is linear. And then if you grow up in a certain kind of childhood, sometimes you want to correct the sins of your father. So you want to be a good husband, you want to be a good dad. And so you will blind yourself to all of these things, and you want to get it all out of your system. So, okay, now I'm successful. Now I've got this. Now I've got that. Now I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids. And it all happens very fast. I suspect
being on the railroad instead of being in the sandbox.
Yeah. So everything you're just kind of, well, I guess I'm here now. I got this one. I'm going to make it work for her. And you're very noble in your pursuit, but very stupid in the way that you're trying to execute it. And like I was a victim of, that was very much my mindset, trying to correct the sins of my father. I'm going to be a good man and not treat my mom or my wife the way that my dad treated my mom and do all these different things. But for somebody that's not ready for all of that shit at 22 years old, obviously that was going to end in disaster. And so this kid at 22, I feel like it's, a lot of men are like that. And he's got a lady, and he's probably attaching all of this importance based on his sense of duty as opposed to his sense of genuine attraction to her. And that gets men in trouble. For women, I don't know what's the equivalent to that for women, but for men, oftentimes they start getting themselves in these overly committed relationships they have no business being in because of sense of duty. And you have to combat against that as well. You're just not ready that young. What do you think of that, Bruce? Bruce doesn't.
Totally
Bruce doesn't have any. Bruce doesn't have an opinion.
Silent.
Oh, geez, I'm on mute. I think it's hard because I think there's some truth to you don't really have a worldview cemented in your mind until you're like in your 30s.
Yeah.
And so if you're making all of these decisions about life before then, it's very difficult. And in general, I think the concept of the way we have marriage today or historically is just sort of broken effectively.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that's really sort of good about marriage is if like people want to cohabitate and have parental rights, or people want to share healthcare or have a decision if somebody's in the hospital or something. Mm-hmm. And if you had some sort of civil union that would allow people to do that without being like, oh, this is forever. Oh, here, take half of my earnings for the rest of your life. Oh, all this other jazz. Get rid of that. And just do something really more streamlined, which is basically when we're in chat and everybody's like, oh, you're going to get married? Get a prenup. Like, just make that what marriage is instead of
community property laws, they don't help. And they create like these conundrums. You're going to give away half of your shit. Like and then somebody that's not working and you're accomplished, and therefore half of your stuff is going to belong to her no matter what. All of your hard work and all. And when we put these around, it's easily remedied with a prenup or whatever. But Doc K brings up a wonderful point. I wonder if marriage is an antiquated ideal.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly what you're saying. That's why I highlighted it, because you're right. Because historically, people would marry for economics or for status or for family. It would be these arranged marriages. The family of the the wizards and the family of the, what am I thinking? Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like families would come together for economic reasons and resources and all of those things.
Dude, you don't even have to go back that far. It was only until the 1970s when women could get a credit card without some man's signature.
You can get a mortgage in some 1974.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They still want your husband to, like, if you say, I want to get my tubes tied, I don't want kids anymore. We need to make sure your husband's okay with that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
No,
That's crazy.
no. That's insane.
Which you're right. And those law, you're right. I don't have to go back to medieval times, because back in the 1970s, those were genuinely laws that were affecting women. You can't get your tubes tied without a man's permission, or you can't buy a house. You can't be on title solely by yourself if you're in a marriage, whatever. You're right. So is it antiquated? I think that the purpose, I don't know if it's antiquated. I just feel like the purpose of marriage is shifting. The purpose of marriage nowadays is similar in the sense that it's probably for legacy. In other words, most people, when they get married and contemplate children and passing on the family name, or building, a stable of children that would give them grandkids and all these kinds of things, those things are the same. What's changed is women's access to power and finance is starting to level out. And so, whereby it used to be the case that the man was in the superior financial position, that's no longer the case as we contemplate marriage in 2024. And so, is it a necessary function? No, it's absolutely not, because women could stand on their own if they really wanted to. So, similar to men, nobody's forcing you into a marriage. So, you really have to be thoughtful. If you're going to get married, it has to be with certain understandings in place. It just has to be. Like you have to understand, number one, especially in a marriage where people are financially equal, like what it is that you're actually wanting to get married for. Like why? Like re-examine that question. If it's not for finances or resources, because you got that part squared away, then what are you doing it for? And if you're not doing it for finances, then the prenup should take precedent, and that, you know what I make is what I make. What you make is what you make. I'm not going to ask for alimony, and then we're just going to go in this marriage and have a clean split in the case that it doesn't work out.
I want to say, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was going to make another point about child support, but yeah.
Okay, well, I don't have kids. You can save that for after this. Okay.
Same.
Right.
No, I was going to say, so like, I knew after I was I worked for an engineering company for 20 years. I knew that it was an employee-owned company. So if you know what that is, not a lot of people do know what an employee-owned company is. It's ESOP, okay? This dumbass, I didn't get married till I was like, 14 days from being 36. Divorced separated after 8 years, almost 8 years. I wish that I would have had a prenup, because... Well, actually, it wouldn't not have protected me, because I was married at the time and I had this money, which was together. Okay. But now looking back, having no money before I was married, or just my income, I wouldn't have had that cash pile come in. I would have just, I wish I would have had a prenup just to protect that money when I left that company, just to protect that money that would have been mine. But, I didn't think I would be going through a divorce where my husband was cheating on me with the girl that married us. That's my favorite part of the story.
The neighbor or whatever.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's great. Right?
I remember that. I've been going through a storage unit that I've had for way too long. And I ran across a book that I bought my first engagement that I called off, because I've called off two. Anyway, it's called The Hard Questions, and that's I have one in my 20s and one in my 30s. I don't know if I'm going to get one in my 40s. We're running out of time. But
me too.
It's called The Hard Questions, and that was a big eye-opener for me back then. I mean, certainly hadn't thought about most of that stuff that I don't remember anymore. But I did see that book yesterday. I was like, oh, yeah, that was kind of one of the reasons. One of several. But, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like in 2024, with women with their increasing desire to be viewed as equal to men, because historically they have been subservient, not because of anything other than that's just how it was structured. Now they're starting to level out. And so now we're asking these questions about, like, let's re-examine alimony laws. What is that about?
That's how it was structured. But why was it structured that way?
Well, it was structured that way. I'll tell you why. I'll explain it. So think back to before women's suffrage. Women couldn't even vote. They couldn't own homes. They couldn't own anything. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't get jobs anywhere. Their jobs were limited to stay-at-home mom or subservient jobs to men. Equal pay was not even a thing. They had no ability to gain careers. But their husbands, they would get married to these people when they were like in their 20s. And their husbands would have these successful careers. They had no ability to have careers of their own, even if that was the design that they wanted to do and it was realistic. They were stay-at-home moms and supporting their husband in his pursuit of a degree and a career, and he would ascend to these heights and gain the benefits of everything that he was working towards and obtain like $1 million a year salary, and then say, you know what? I think I'd like to be with a younger woman. My secretary sure is looking pretty good. And so he started banging the secretary. Next thing you know, he wants to move her into the house and kick his wife of 20 years to the curb. And so now she's on the curb. And so there's nothing they could do. So they put in these alimony laws, which basically protected from that scenario. It was like, if you want a divorce, fine, but you're going to give her a certain amount of money every month. You're going to try to make her whole. You got married with these ideas that you're going to take care of for the rest of her life, and you're not just going to leave her out on the street. So it was really meant as a protectionary measure for women in that situation, which was way more prevalent back in the 1800s. Now, fast forward to now, it's a little more, it's a lot different, right? And so, but the principles remain the same. That one party is inevitably going to be the breadwinner. The other party is going to sacrifice their career prospects for the benefit of the other, and thereby the party that ascends in their career is going to make all of this money. But what if they just want to get a divorce because they're tired of you for whatever reason? It doesn't matter what the reason. And now you are kicked out to the curb, and this life that you had become accustomed to, that you had contemplated, that you've been building for a period of years, well, it's been swept out from under you. Now you're like living at your mom's, or you're living at your sister's, or you're just out on the street, and he's over here living the high life, banging all these ladies, models, and bottles and stuff off of the shores of Ibiza. I don't know.
You never know with the bottle.
You never know whatever kind of bottles.
Well, there's the title for my OnlyFans account.
That could be dangerous.
Models and bottles, bitch.
More, Bruce, for OnlyFans. That's right. It's cute.
Yeah. That's the principles behind alimony. Is it always fair? Of course it isn't. But sometimes it's necessary because you got this person that's literally sacrificed their life for a man or a woman to their detriment, that is now being discarded as if they're yesterday's trash because they want to bring somebody else in, or they just want a new life or whatever. It's supposed to protect against those things. But if you guys are both on stable financial footing, you have every reason to take the pressure off of the marriage by entering into a prenuptial agreement whereby your salary and property obtained during the marriage that obtained in your name will remain yours, the same for you, and we don't have to fight about it if it doesn't work out, you know? But most people don't want to do that. I was like, oh, if you really loved me, you wouldn't need a prenup. No, bullshit. There's all kinds of things that could go wrong. Oh,
I think I would be a fan of a prenup. I don't care. I would have no money, but I might make money. But I would still have whatever's mine is mine, whatever's yours is yours.
Yeah.
Right.
I just did one this week. They're really effective. It makes me feel really good going forward for the two of them.
There's nothing wrong with them. I was going to say something because you were like, he's out getting his and like banging everybody.
Women could do the same thing.
We can all do it. Right?
Yeah,
Back in my day, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It is not exclusive to men. I'll tell you what, it was more dangerous for women to do it in the past because they had so much to lose financially. But nowadays, women can do it a lot.
I was on my own. I told you I had a very, very good job. And my thing, I liked hockey players. I was a little Southern puck bunny.
I was engaged to a hockey player. My first
puck bunny.
Puck later.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, you play
it was
hockey,
fun. I lived in London because of it.
A hockey stick.
Okay, maybe we're not going to talk. But what I was going to say is, some people just can't be satisfied, and I don't mean satisfied like sexually. I mean they're always thinking bigger and better, and the grass is always greener. And so that's how my ex-husband was.
I think dating apps are making that even worse. It's like the next best thing.
Oh my gosh!
All
I didn't
the time.
tell you guys last time. Okay, so I did date this one guy. I have a big heart for redheads. I love redheads. I don't know, they're hot.
Bruce is a redhead.
I
Sort
know
of.
you so Bruce and
Oh,
I
is
do.
it?
Not at all. What?
I don't know.
Oh
We got
my.
to check I think we got to check the curtains.
Maybe a hothead.
Maybe check his OnlyFans. He seems like he probably does. But oh god, I just lost my train of thought. Amy, why do they do this to me?
I know my mom does this to me all the time.
I do it like I just do it to my.
I'm like
self.
that dude.
Okay, so we were talking about that.
The hockey.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Redheads.
It'll come.
Redhead. It'll come back, and
It'll come back.
Hey, for Scorpion, I actually do international divorces, and there's very specific rules that apply, and I won't bore everybody with them now, but basically, y'all are from California, got divorced in Texas. If you were married in California, I'd imagine that you were beholden to the laws of California. I think they're both community property states. If one of you guys decides to move international, you're still going to be beholden to those rules as it pertains to the assets within the marriage. But there's a lot of complicated stuff. But you're right, for a different topic for a different day. I've been thinking about that for a while, though. I just haven't had any big overtures to do that kind of a show. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, maybe write this down for another day, though. So I had a really, really, really great attorney. And she, I was like, he's cheated on me. I can prove it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, listen, you're going to spend more money on that than you're going to make. I mean, it's not really worth it for the alienation of affection. So write that down, Omar.
Alienation of affection as a grounds for divorce?
Well, no. So my ex left me. Okay, right.
Okay.
Because he was cheating. But I asked her about it. I was like she was a friend, can I sue? What can I do about that? And she's like, I recommend nothing, because you're not gonna I mean, you're gonna spend more money and you're already getting a shit ton of money, so don't worry about it,
Yeah.
So I wonder your opinion on that, but save that for another time.
I'll say that for another time.
Yeah, do that for another time, though. That's a good one. I'm sure a lot of people would like to.
It's probably a more fun topic in your state, because in California, they don't give a shit. Alienation of affection, whoever cheated on who. Yeah, it's a no-fault state. Like, you could bang 100 dudes.
I think South Carolina might be a little more, but North Carolina, yeah. I mean, it's not a big effing deal, but, I had to ask,
Yeah, no, that is an interesting topic. Hey, did we finish this already? Are we done with this one? Is this the 20-year-olds? All right, I got way off topic there. Y'all had me on a couple of rants. Let's move on to another one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 20-year-old lady went on Tinder and has a boyfriend she doesn't like.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Thank you, Bruce.
You got it. Yeah. You got it.
Bruce brought it back to me. He came screaming back at me with the red hair.
It's not red. It's brown. I don't know. I was blonde when I was a little kid.
I had red hair.
Boy.
Girl.
Better if I turn my phone this way. Sorry, guys. I'm over here experimenting because I can't use my computer.
I think that you're good on the. I don't think it. Well, I didn't see that.
Way.
Yeah, definitely not that. Yeah, that way. That way's best.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, he was spending the night, and I would speaking of Tinder and all that, that's what brought that to me. I got up to go pee in the middle of the night. Sometimes you have to do that now. I was at 48. And I just
that's what you're my age too. That was another reason.
Right, remember? We have a lot of me. We need to talk.
We do.
But I was sitting there, I just laid back in bed, and I guess at that time he decides to wake up and grab his phone, and then he's like, I'm watching him over his shoulder, swiping right.
Oh damn!
Swiping right.
How do you know he was swiping right? They're like, what if it was just I don't know, scrolling pictures or something?
Right here. Okay, got my phone, and you're
You're just watching him do Tinder.
I watched him.
Oh my god.
Bye.
The audacity.
That's pretty bold of him, man.
Brazen, one would say.
Yeah.
Wow. I would have snatched that phone already. Actually, I'd probably just be like,
he was gone.
I don't know. I'd want to. Yeah, I'd do so much. That's my thing. Is my impulsiveness. That ADHD, yeah, I tend to react before I think.
Let me ask Amy, where are you from again? Texas or Florida?
I live in the Panhandle of Florida, but I'm visiting my family in Arkansas right now.
Okay, I remember you're from.
I'm on a farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm going crazy.
She had to catch her some flat.
Right? And I tell my mom, like, I'm gonna be in here. If I've got like 3 dogs and a cat in here with me, I'm like, and 2 of them are blind. So
Pam says that dating apps are only for a great book of blunders.
Oh, my phone's about dead. I forgot.
Oh, well.
The great book of nonsense and
yeah, the great book of nonsense for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let me get into this one. So this person wants to know if they're the asshole for getting their hopes up and then telling him for getting his hopes up and then telling him I had an abortion and serving divorce papers. What is Dominic? What is this, man? What is this? Let's read it. All right. I've hit my breaking point. I hit it a while ago. I'm totally snapped. I have a surgery that will make my entire life so much easier. It's needed, but not an emergency. So I've been on the wait list for a couple of months and probably still will be until March. Anyway, my soon-to-be ex-husband has known about this surgery since like the first couple of weeks of this year. I begged him to get snipped. My body can't handle birth control anymore. And he refuses to wear condoms. So that was the compromise, and he just never did it. I feel like that's fair. Like, why would you want to wear a condom like in a relationship? You know?
Wait, what was the compromise?
No.
What is the compromise? I'm curious myself. Well, 2 months ago, my already psychotic period was late. Ladies, y'all ever had a psychotic period?
Wait,
how would you even define that?
Lots of them.
Is she saying he agreed to get a vasectomy and just didn't do it?
He did say that. That's what he said.
Now, here's what I need to know. Did he just put it off and put it off and put it off while saying he would do it in the future? Or did he say he did it, but he really didn't? Like, did he lie?
I don't think she said that he said that he did. I think he's just been meaning to, just never got around to it because it's a scary thing to have your balls cut open.
So this was supposed to be the compromise.
Maybe.
It wasn't. Like when she says that was the compromise, it makes it sound like it's done.
I feel like that's a fair compromise.
I would have gone with it
last Friday, as opposed to I made an appointment and canceled the appointment with the doctor last Friday.
Here's a screenshot of my appointment.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, these are different things.
You're not going to trick this cult.
Right. Yeah. You know where I'm going. Okay.
So she says, she got pregnant. Oh, I see.
I know. Okay. I was reading. I'm sorry. I had
No, you're good. All right. So I begged me snipped. Birth control sucks, man. Women should not be on birth control for extended periods of time. It's a really bad.
I've been on birth control since I was 16 and I'm 48. But I use it so I don't have a period. More than I can't get pregnant, but I use it because periods suck.
Stopped it. I don't have a period anymore.
Dude, my doctor, when I was like 23, said she did it, and I'm like, good enough for you, good enough for me. And guess what? I'm also 48, and I don't even really have perimenopausal symptoms. And my friend that's like way younger than me is in full-blown menopause. So
I just stopped having periods after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom had her last kid when she was 49.
Oh, wow.
My grandmother, my aunt is about, well, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But my grandma was very, like 45 or something. So, yeah. I think.
Yeah, no way. Even if I could have kids, I mean, I guess if I did, it would be a miracle baby. So, and I always wanted kids, but I got Yorkies instead and a cat.
Yorkies are a good substitute. I could tell you that they're less problematic.
Amazing. A lot of people in this chat know. I don't want to bring the chat down. Know what? I call them my old lady dogs, and they're both blind and deaf. So anyway, yeah, it's. I don't.
There ain't nothing wrong with some old lady dogs.
They're the best.
All right, so this lady ends up pregnant. The compromise, 2 months ago, my already psychotic period was late. I was pissed. Pregnancy test was positive. It was the first time we had sex in months. But my husband was for sure he never finished that night.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Bruce, do you want to tell him or should I?
Are there
Please tell
are there fake twins involved in this, or
There
like,
might be fake
do
triplets.
we
I
need to
mean,
get Brett from RavGen in this?
do we at least have?
into this
Do
call?
we at least have a vaginal sex
Oh
in this
no!
one? Okay, it was the first time we had sex in months. He didn't finish. He claims he went into this huge pissed off rage and wanted paternity test for all our kids.
Oh boy!
And I better call their real dads to come take care of them.
Sounds like he's a cheater.
Oh, that's
He said, yes, she's right. You're right.
we
Whoever
do
said
need
that, you're right.
RavGen in this.
I did.
Yeah.
He's a cheater. And he's a narcissist.
concur.
Cheater.
Narcissist, cheat. He's 100% banging the maid or something.
This is not good.
Bruce always
Probably the nanny.
complains.
What's that?
Probably the nanny.
Bruce always complains that how come all these cases have to be like somebody banging somebody? It's like, well,
Yeah, you guys
think
are always
more-
like,
I mean, it
it's
is after
so
dark.
obvious. They're just all banging each other on the side or something.
I think
Like,
over-
I
It's
don't
not
know.
family
Maybe they
law
are.
at sunrise.
it is not family law at sunrise.
Sunrise. That's funny.
It is family law after dark for sure. No, but you're right. I mean, look, I
Don't
mean,
these
to be
people
fair,
have laundry to do, or they're all banging 24/7. I mean, like, I got things to do. I don't know.
I've just known since I was a young man that.
Like, you don't have to bang all the time. Jesus, you do get kind of tired of somebody.
Okay, but to be fair, if he didn't like finish inside of her, I could see where he would question things. You know what I mean? Like, I know the odds
I've
are
heard a
still
story
the
like
odds.
that. Yeah, maybe.
We've heard stories
Right?
like
Can't
I
you
could
let
see-
them like slide through or like swim through?
Apparently,
One-
you can feel it.
one gets
Didn't
past the
Clayton
goalie,
say
man, but
that?
you can't.
But you
Look,
don't.
I'm
I
not
mean,
a medical doctor, but like, you don't have to ejaculate fully to ejaculate at all. Is my
Right.
point.
Right.
that was my question. is-
That's why the pull-out method doesn't always work.
It's not
Hello.
very effective. You know,
Nope.
Thank
Nope.
you, Dr. Medchill.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it was the first time we had sex.
forgotten
Okay. We left.
that
I
part.
went to my doctor, asked for her to do a blood test and see the paternity of the baby, and then to give me abortion pills because I couldn't do this again. I almost died during my last birth. After I took the pills and confirmed I wasn't pregnant anymore, I filed for divorce. And when all the paternity tests came back that he is in fact their dad, he started being so sweet and saying he was sorry for how he acted and how I know how he questioned his daughter's paternity.
Wait, hold on. The paternity test came back and confirmed he was the father?
She's saying that, so there must have been a paternity test in the middle of the abortion. There must
So
have been,
wait,
right?
in this story, we have children in a pregnancy that are actually real?
They just popped out. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just-
I'm in shock, guys.
She's the
I'm
writer.
in shock that
After the
they
abortion.
could actually do a paternity test and get a result. Like,
some
how does
people do
that
those
happen?
things. It's just, hey, sometimes it's the responsible thing to
Crazy.
do. But could I defend this guy? I'm going to defend this guy a little bit. He might be a little bit dumb. But then again, if he didn't finish in her, if we're to take him at his word that he didn't, do the thing, that he didn't finish, I can see where he would question the paternity. And then upon realizing that, no, he was the dad, realizing that, maybe he overreacted a little bit. I kind of want to defend him a little bit.
Well,
I mean,
it depends. I
I
mean,
can see
if
your
you're
doubts or
incredulous-
wonder.
yeah.
I don't
If you-
think.
If
I
you
don't
have
know.
doubts, but to go into a huge pissed off rage, that's a bit much.
Yeah, the rage was a bit much for sure.
I think he's cheating, and he just didn't want responsibility for anything. And then
He might not be cheating though. Maybe he isn't. Maybe-
okay, that's positive.
Let me just, playing devil's advocate because I agree with you at first.
Good. I'm glad
But-
you are.
So here's my thing. Men are dumb. Sometimes
are
men are
too.
dumb. Like
You're
we know
so smart to say that, which is weird because men are dumb. That's strange.
intellectually men know that pre-cum are a thing, but we're also baseball fans and we believe in percentages. And like the percentage that you could possibly get somebody pregnant without ejaculating versus with ejaculating, it weighs on us. And so I could see where he would flip out just playing the percentages. It's more likely than not that maybe this isn't my kid. And then coming to grips with the reality of the paternity test later and apologizing, I can see that being a reasonable-ish reaction. Maybe not the going into a rage, but his reaction, I feel like, was reasonable, sort of. What do you think? Like if I told you that, okay, that there's a certain percentage of successful pregnancy with full-on ejaculation, and the successful pregnancy drops by like 20-fold if there's no ejaculation and only pre-cum, for example.
I feel like all that is a red herring.
Wait, how much?
Maybe.
What percentage?
I'm not a doctor. I don't know the percentages. I'm making it up.
Oh, you were making that up. Oh, I'm like thinking you just Googled it. I'm like, hold on.
No. I really don't know.
They did a study on this.
Yeah, but I mean, I would probably Google it. I'm just saying, like, what if I'd imagine that the percentages drop? I'd imagine that's my hypothesis anyway. And so I could see him thinking that and getting enraged in the moment and like coming to grips after he does his research or whatever.
Sure, but I think we're missing the point. The point is she filed divorce papers on him.
You're right. That was the point.
And got the abortion.
That's right.
And now he's like, why did you get a divorce and have an abortion? And so her question, and to me, I think what's missing here is I think just the fact of like getting pregnant and then doing the paternity test is not the sole reason she filed for divorce. And there's other reasons.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it's not like one thing that tipped the teeter-totter. I think there's a bunch of stuff and this tipped it and we don't know what that is. And she's not acknowledging that there's other reasons she wants to be divorced. And this was the tipping point.
I think that's inherent in this last paragraph.
Yeah.
I'll read it. He's been texting me nonstop since, I'm a bitch. How could I kill his baby? How dare I get his hopes up and then pull this shit? And now he has to tell his parents that I'm not pregnant when he already told them I was. Then asked who was going to take care of me after my surgery because no one will want to watch the kids and take care of. All right, he's kind of a dick. If he's saying those things to her. I mean, we're getting her side of it because no one gives an F about me. I told him all communication will be through my emails and blocked him. Yeah, I think Bruce is spot on. So look, the questioning of paternity was valid, but the filing for divorce lets us know that there's something else brewing.
Well, that was so nice.
Mm-hmm. I think there's more here.
Thanks for gifting the 20 tilted memberships.
Nice. Sarcasm. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
We love Pam over here, man. I wanted to invite her on stream, but she said she has a cold, which I get it. I totally do. Yeah, I 100% think that this guy, she didn't really mention what the other issues could be, but she has her reasons. I don't know what they are, but yeah, there's definitely more to this story than just this that would prompt her to want to get a divorce. What it is, I don't know. She doesn't even say how old she is, so I can't even go off of that.
Yeah. Also, there's this surgery or whatever that she mentions at the start that I don't even know how that relates to this. But
I have a surgery to make my entire life. Yeah. Maybe she's talking about getting her tubes tied. Is that what it is?
No.
It's needed, but not an emergency.
I think she meant Did she not mean the abortion?
No, because
I kind of thought that too, Amy, but I don't know.
The plan B, basically, I think.
Because, I mean, I don't know. I've taken care of a friend before that, and it's, there's some, I guess, depending on how far along, but there's definitely some aftercare.
Well, Plan B is not
so
the
much
same
with Plan
as like
B.
a
Definitely.
surgery for abortion,
It's crappy. You feel crappy.
She took the pills, so this is separate. This is separate.
So I heard.
That in March. She's going to get surgery in March. So there's like a whole context here we just don't have.
Yeah, you're
Dominic,
right.
And Dominic.
Yeah.
How do you say Dominique or Dominic? I'm Southern.
Dominic.
Amy and I are Southern.
Dominique. It's the French version.
We need to know a little bit more about this one. It is a little confusing.
Dominic, I think she's telling you that you need to pull better cases, sir. It's the first time that I've left this to him to do this.
Okay.
But, All right, we're going to move on to our last one for the day because it's like an hour 45 that we've been doing this now.
I felt like last
time flies.
Like 3 hours, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I loved it so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Like the Fridays, they just fly by, man. And when
I
we're
just
on
wasn't
stream,
prepared to be camera ready and all the things at my parents' house. But
well, none of us are camera ready.
I'm winging it over here, so sorry it's all wobbly. I do apologize. I'm
You're
Apparently, I
literally
have
completely
got
red
cool.
stuff
hair.
properly.
I don't know.
Oh,
Which
we've
is
learned
red
that.
hair.
We've learned so
No
many
red hair.
things about Bruce on Flad. We've learned that
Oh,
he's
no.
into antlers. We learned that he wears pink underwear.
Yeah.
We learned that he's got red curtains.
Yeah.
We learned various
Well, you
other
said we
things.
need to check his curtains. No. You said we need to check the curtains. So
I
don't
did
worry.
say that,
Oh boy.
but I
You
feel like
did.
his chuckle confirmed the color.
Someone in chat will confirm. But yeah.
We learned that he has a 30-minute refractory period.
Oh dear.
Remember, I got confused last time I was on about the 30-minute thing or something. I can't
That's not going
remember.
to hit 100 in 24 hours, unfortunately. So
All right, man.
down.
Oh, we did learn he has a foot fetish. Sarah's, that's
no.
right.
Oh my God, Sarah's throwing me under the bus. Oh.
Do you?
Oh.
Oh, I always look at people's feet.
I mean,
It's a hoof fetish, guys.
Somebody should try to bait Bruce with like a OnlyFans feed only
feet
and
are
see if he
nice, but
subscribes.
I wouldn't say it's. I mean, they're fine. I don't have anything against feet.
Oh, I got some things against feet, man.
Oh,
Fuck that.
boy.
Some
Can I
feet.
get a I get a foot rub? Rub them yourself.
I used to be a cosmetologist, and honestly, I don't like doing pedicures, but I'd rather do that than a manicure, just because you're like up in their face with the manicure, and like I'd rather, as long as they don't have funky feet.
I just saw this
no.
You know
TikTok
what?
yesterday.
I hate it. I sucked
Amy,
at nails though.
Hockey
Yes.
players sometimes have the worst feet.
Why are
They
you messing
oh
around
my
with your
god,
feet then,
and
man?
hockey bags and stuff. Oh my god, they smell so
They're
bad. What's
like-
and
they're
hockey
like-
gloves.
And
Yeah, I know. Well, I know too much about what all they talk about and do, and oh my god, it's so
I
bad.
would probably
The
I
hockey
was-
team, the hockey
Yeah.
team in the United States wasn't bad, but then we went to London, and those guys were like going to brothels and being nasty, nasty boys.
Eek.
they were all
Bad.
nasty.
Ugh.
Most of
Yeah,
them are
dirty
nasty.
boys.
There's
I'll
not
tell you
that
what.
many
Dirty boys.
nasty ones.
I watched a TikTok yesterday. There's this lady that does Brazilian waxes, and she was refusing service to this other lady because the smell was so wretched. She's like, "Look, not for nothing, man."
Oh, well, you leave them. I'm also an esthetician. You have
really?
a little thing for. Yeah,
Are you really?
I've done a lot of Brazilians. Yeah.
No shit. Okay, so this
I
was I got to set this up for you. I want to know how you would respond. So
Okay.
this lady says number one, she went there after having a gym session. She went to the gym, then went to get a Brazilian. And then the esthetician was like, yeah, that smell is a bit much. That's an infection, lady. I'm refusing
Oh, that's
service.
horrible.
I can't do it. The smell was so bad. It causes confrontation. But what struck me about it was like the
She
lady was
definitely
like,
went about the wrong way, but she should leave stuff in there to clean it. But I guess it's not miraculous stuff. But
I
there
don't
should
know,
be
man.
options, and even like if it's too long, like we'll give you scissors. Some people do it themselves. Some people be like, go back and trim that shit. Like it's too much.
Jesus.
It's earlier when you said talking about dicks and like, oh, you've seen one, you've seen them all, and then I different thing. I was like, I immediately thought about like, I mean, I'm a girl that's never had kids and stuff, and I've seen a lot now, and they vary.
I've seen
More
dicks
than
that
I
should never be
realized.
seen.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I just seen them because I used to be at work. No, I mean, not really.
You used to what?
I used to get around. How's that? I wasn't.
Oh, well, that's being
few.
promiscuous. Being promiscuous isn't uncommon with people with ADHD because we're impulsive. Hello.
But I thought about that.
I mean,
the other day
yeah,
too.
I'm a calm one now. I just like to keep one that has to like it, and
So you should get it out of her system, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean?
I had when everybody else was looking for husbands and careers, I was having a lot of fun. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I was looking and working, but I wasn't focused like I should have been. Yeah. Definitely.
I know. Amy, you and I, we definitely have to talk because I bet you both of us can come back together with something for them to go off of, because I think
I'm
like
sure
we
we
have
could.
a lot like in common, and it'd be interesting to hear like our stories and how they parallel.
Oh, I've got lots. I was a wild one. I'm not gonna lie.
I love you. Me too.
But I had a blast, but I don't really drink. And my job is I'm a brand ambassador. I give out liquor samples. And Omar, I wish it was legal to mail you liquor because I get all the leftovers. I brought my brother a whole box of nothing but tequila and bourbon. Yeah, it was like, man, I could hook you up.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
But I don't really drink.
But
I've got my marijuana license. This is my thing, and I'm accident prone, so it's got little rubber bands around it because
in California, you don't even have to have a license. You just go buy that shit over here.
Yeah, we just voted for that in Florida, and it didn't pass. It's such a
really
bummer.
What is wrong with you all, man?
One thing about Florida too is we have to go to the doctor every 7 months, and it's instead in a lot of states. I know my friend, I think in Colorado, I believe it's just once. Like, it costs me quite a bit, like $500 a year just that goes to the doctor. And my doctors quit seeing patients for regular health care unless you're grandfathered in. He's doing all marijuana now. So we're just stuffing those doctors' pockets. And
so what do you tell them? Like, I'm depressed and I think I just need to get high.
Well, no, I've had a spinal fusion, and so that's why I don't do hair, and I'm not an esthetician anymore. In 2015, I had one, and it was hereditary for me, but my surgeon said I sped it up by like 20 years. So great. Yeah,
what's that Cheech and Chong joke? Like, I have a medical card for depression. I get depressed when I'm not high.
Exactly. No, I don't know if it's frowned upon to hit this during your streams.
No, you're good. I don't give a shit.
My
man.
eyes might be a little bit.
No, I don't think YouTube allows it, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I'll take it from my producer.
Do they not? Yeah. Well, I didn't, so you're good. What about like nicotine vapes? Because that's I wish I need to quit that too. Do they allow?
I think they cracked down on that one too.
Yeah.
They don't have.
Really?
They used to have like cigar review channels. They all got like demonetized and kicked out.
No
I don't
shit.
know.
You know what? YouTube needs to loosen up. My mom's friend came over today, and I'm trying to tell them about how amazing YouTube can be and what all's out there. It's not just silly videos. Like, they don't really get it, and they just don't. They don't have a clue what all's out there. And I just lost my train of thought mid.
Very good.
You needed the medical stuff.
By the way, Stephanie has a really good idea. We should do a bad dates live. I have a lot of those stories. That is an idea for a future show. I'm gonna try to set that up, man.
Please
you gotta
do.
figure that out.
I've had more bad dates in the past 2 years.
Forward me your stories and then like talk about them, and then
Omar, I got a doozy. Oh my god! And it just happened.
Myself.
I want to be on too because
it was this year too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. But let's do this last one.
Amy with
what was I talking about with YouTube? Why did I lose that?
Do
what?
We can't talk about weed and stuff and nicotine. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. I was saying that people have to say like he raped her and stuff like that. I was telling them how they censor it and how like it's so strange that. And I was explaining why people say unalived, that it was for the that's why it's not just people decided to change the name and they were just it's strange to me. That's all.
Yeah, they make us jump through these hoops. I don't understand it. It is what it is.
Loosen up, YouTube.
All right, so we got a pair of 30-year-olds here. My 30-year-old female partner visits. Oh no, she's the female. He's the male, visits sex chats and dating sites. So she says English is not her first language. I've been in a relationship for nearly 5 years. My partner was open to me at the beginning. He told me that he was addicted to porn, and he was very ashamed of it. I was okay with it and valued his honesty since he told me he was going to seek help regarding his addiction. Also, I've been struggling with mental health for all my life, so I thought, why not give him support, and a chance. As the years passed, we weren't really able to talk about the problem. Every time I wanted to bring it up, he just blocked. He didn't seek therapy. We're both quite bad at communicating feelings. However, I was in constant therapy and really tried to change the ways I handle situations and emotions and helped. And I've learned how to cope a lot. So since this particular subject was always kind of hushed up, I became more and more suspicious and maybe also controlling. And then 2 years ago, it happened. I found out that he wasn't actually visiting porn sites. He was actually texting people in these sex chats and was also signed up for dating sites. In these chats with women and men, he often impersonated other people, said he was single, said he had another job. Then they all revolved around sending nudes and sexting. Naturally, I felt cheated on, humiliated, sick, and totally worthless. My trust in him was shattered. For 3 days, I went to stay at a friend's house. As I went back home, we had a long talk. I really felt like his apology was honest, that he felt very sorry and absolutely ashamed. He told me that he needed a lot of confirmation and attention, and that I, since I was struggling mentally sometimes, couldn't always satisfy his need for attention.
Oh.
I feel like that's going to derail this, so I'm going to just keep reading. We both agree that he needed to talk this over in therapy, but this was obviously something he was struggling with. Still, the trust was gone, and I really didn't know if we could be together anymore. My sole condition was that he needs to tell me if this stuff happens again. So anyway, months passed. I went on with therapy, and I tried to focus on myself rather than that problem. It was a very difficult time, and I know it was not always fair towards him, but I'm trying very hard to handle this in an adult way. He found someone to talk to, which was a great relief. That lasted about 6 months, and after that, he assured me that he felt much better and that he didn't need the therapist anymore. I wasn't so sure, but hey, he's an adult. He can decide for himself. Then, last February, I was in such a bad shape mentally that I had to be called in sick for work, which is still lasting. I'm aware that me being ill also puts a lot of pressure on him, and it's very difficult for both of us. Keep in mind that that problem was still not talked about. And then in June of this year, I found more chats he didn't tell me, like he agreed. And again, what a huge step back. Now, I told him that he must seek therapy because I couldn't do this again. I felt more angry about the fact that he didn't tell me in person rather than I had this upcoming feeling again, which I discussed with him. He told me it was all okay, and I found out for myself. So he's in therapy again. But I have these days that I really have no idea on how to continue this relationship, and today's one of those days. I've been in bed all day pondering and overthinking. I really do love him. Deep down, he's a loving, gentle, and funny partner. He's just has this stupid addiction. He's absolutely sure he wants to stay with me, and I want to stay with him, but I don't know how much of this secrecy I can take. I grew up with an alcohol-addicted father, so I absolutely know what the struggles are with addiction. The only thing I want from him is transparency. Is it too much to ask? I can handle it better if he told me when he relapsed, rather than my growing suspicion and then my controlling. My boyfriend is always very supportive of me.
Somebody burp.
Was that Dominic? Who was that?
Somebody burped. It was hilarious.
It couldn't have been Dominic. He's not even on the stage.
Not me.
Sneaky, sneaky.
One of y'all.
It was the dog over here, I guess.
Oh, blame the dog.
Blame the dog.
All right. So this guy said, all right, too long didn't read. He's unsure about how to handle her partner's secret sex chat edition. All right. I got a lot to say about this one.
You go.
You do?
It is well.
No, Omar goes first on this one.
It seems really straightforward.
I know.
It's straightforward and complex all at the same time. But I think we should get Bruce's take on it first, because he has the straightforward view, which is usually correct.
Well, OnlyFans, he knows a lot. You know, I mean, he's used to that shit.
Only antlers.
What do you think, Bruce? Why is this one straightforward?
Well, if I think if she has a boundary that she's set, like he has to do therapy and tell her about how he's progressing, and he's hiding things from her, then he is not respecting her boundaries.
Well, what if this?
He has to decide when that is too much.
Yeah, I get the boundaries thing.
Are they married? She says boyfriend.
Oh, I don't know. Were they?
It says BF. What was at the top? They should just break up.
And they're partners. Let's just say, just break up, whatever. Well, here's the thing, man.
This is the answer to all these crazy stories on Reddit.
Well, does it have to be a stranger? Could that be their thing? Does it have to be a stranger that he wants to do this with? Could she try to turn him on in the ways? I don't know.
I think he's just addicted.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he might just be addicted. That was going to be kind of my point. So look, Bruce, when you and I were young boys, we didn't have the internet, man. There was no Pornhub. There was no whatever your sex app. There was no apps. Jesus. There was
Right?
There was no internet, really. Well, I mean,
we had cordless phones and they sucked.
We had cable TV and there was like scrambled television, and sometimes you could see a body part every now and then. There was
Or
like
your friend's house. You know that their parents were probably dirty, and they had the Cinemax.
Oh, I found the sex positions book one at my friend's parents' house.
The Kama Sutra.
Betamax version of Porky's.
And then your best friend would be like, "Oh, what I found in my mom's drawer," and be this like long dildo. And now you think about it, you're going, "We would just want that."
What was that? Benny something. I remember something being. It wasn't that kind of dirty as a kid. I remember I wasn't allowed.
British. It was British.
British
Amy,
TV.
it was British.
Maybe I need to Google that because I never got to see it. No idea.
I used to watch it with my aunt Nancy.
I don't know. I thought he was a funny guy. He was.
I just know I wasn't allowed. I don't know.
It was dirty.
Thanks for this ride down memory lane, Omar.
I know.
Right. A bunch of Gen Xers in here.
Jesus. So we grew up with. Look. We had Victoria's Secret catalogs, the Sears catalog, the bra section or whatever. That's what you got, you know? I remember when I was like 8 years old, there was like this video game article that had a butt in it. I was like, holy shit. And it was at my friend's house, and I ripped out the butt and I kept it. And then I showed him at the school next day. I was like, hey, I took this. You know, it was my 8-year-old trophy that I had. You know?
That's hilarious.
Who knew an 8-year-old boy liked a nice brown butt, like a J-Lo butt?
Man, I've always been a butt man since I was like 4 years old. That's just how I've always been.
Sounds fine.
I know. Never mind. We don't have to even get into that. Yeah. All I'm saying is, look,
Omar, I'll trade you this foot fetish for your butt fetish.
I'd rather keep mine than I'm not down with the feet.
I do pay hands. That was very southern, but hands. Like a man has to have nice hands.
That's a woman thing, though. That is not a male. Men do not give a shit about a woman's hands.
You know why? I think that too. It's because, I'm from rural Arkansas, and some guys got some really dirty fingernails. You know, they're like, you gotta clean. Yeah, how much can you clean? Kind of goes back to the feet and clean up. Yeah, just take care of your.
Make them wash the dishes. It'll fix that right up.
Groom yourself, and
that'll happen. That ain't ever happening. Go ahead.
My point is, so this guy is, he's 30. That makes him a millennial, I think. Or what is he, a Gen Z? I don't know.
I think he's not a millennial. I think that's Gen Z.
He's a youngster. So by the time this guy was like 5 years old, that would have put him 25 years ago. That would have put him in 1999. That was the burgeoning development of the internet is like this mechanism for filtering in porn into your life constantly. And for free. And by the time this guy was a teenager, what would that have been? 15 years ago, 2010? At that point, it would have been like on a cell phone. I could see how young men would get enamored with pornography and develop these unhealthy addictions towards it that would affect their relationships going forward. So maybe it is an addiction. And guess what? porn is not even the same as it used to be. When for me and Bruce, it was Victoria's Secret catalogs and scrambled television. Now it's like OnlyFans and interaction with these people and like these whatever, and it's just a different delivery mechanism that requires more of the senses, more sensory overload, and he's having to cope with trying to come off of that. And he's 30 years old. He's still got these spikes of testosterone where he doesn't have very much defense against his urges. I'm not trying to defend him from going behind her back. I'm just saying that he's got a bigger problem than she knows. And if he's struggling with that problem, it really has nothing to do with her. He grew up a certain kind of a way where sex was always on offer. Pornography was always on offer, whatever he desired, whatever he wanted. And he's been swimming in that for years now. And he's trying to find a way out of it and trying to navigate the world as a normal person in 2024, going into 2025, with all of this new advanced whatever's going to become next. I'm just saying, man, in Japan, they have straight up people that will not talk to women because they're so advanced in the way that they deliver their pornography to people. Like they get robots. You know what we're going to have? I'm just going to buy a sex doll and it's going to become a wife. There's people that are like that. It's happened in America somewhat, but in Japan and all these other foreign places, it's a real problem. These men don't know how to talk to women. They have no ability to have a relationship with women or account for their needs, much less get over their own addiction to their sexual urges. And so all I'm saying to this young lady is this guy's addiction really might not have anything to do with you. It might just be something that he's got to work through and grow out of.
I mean, it's like the mice, certain mice that'll just eat the heroin or whatever until they die, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because that's how the dopamine affects their brain chemistry and all that jazz.
That's exactly right.
So it's internal and external. So it can depend on the person.
It's like I don't want to say mental illness. I'm not saying that, but it's a mental.
It's chemistry, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a brain chemistry issue, 100%. Just like Bruce said, a dopamine issue.
Right.
And
you're probably already always trying to get, like they say, you're chasing that first high. Like,
man,
you're always trying to get.
It's like that, or maybe it gets better. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I remember when we had like a family computer, and the first time I realized I could download a picture of Kathy Ireland. Holy shit! I'm talking about Sports Illustrated circa like the early 90s, man.
And Amy, like you're what, 45?
I'm 44. I'm 44.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So back in like
that makes a big difference.
1994, we had dial-up internet or something. I don't know, but it took like 30 minutes to download an image, and it was one picture of Kathy Ireland in a bathing suit.
Yes.
Okay. I thought she was before, but.
Oh, she was. She came out. She was like early 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s.
I don't know, but I still feel like I'm like 28. So time
I know.
for me is like I have no idea time.
But Sports Illustrated, that used to be a big deal because, there was no porn back then on the internet. Like you got the Sports Illustrated issue swimsuit edition, and it was like gold, it was what young men had in their developing years. And so this idea that it's now extended to these personal interactions that you have with OnlyFans models or whatever it's become, there's not all personal communications are created equal. Like if he's not out there like purposely looking for sexual partners that he has access to, if it's still living in fantasy world, that's not the same thing as him trying to actively cheat on her, which is just something that she should probably consider.
I think he needs to find somebody else who's also interested in like certain things like he is,
Yeah. And my other idea, exactly going to your point, is this.
Is not for her.
It is probably not. And you're right. But the transparency thing was something that she wanted to bring up. The only thing I want from him is transparency. So like then the solution would be then, look, I have this thing. I like to go on these websites. You want to come on it with me? Why don't we start an OnlyFans together? And it could become a thing that we do together. And if she's not receptive, then that obviously it's not going to work out. But let's just put it all on. Look, this is where I go. This is what I do. It's a thing. You want to do with me or you want to do without? Maybe it can become a thing that they do together.
Well,
maybe
this is where I was going with the boundaries.
Yeah, you're right. The boundaries was the straightforward view. And you're 100% right. But what if we could imagine a world where we were extending boundaries into avenues that allowed them to have a transparent relationship is the question. And the answer is maybe they can or they can't. And if she can't, then yeah, it's not going to work. And, they should probably move on. But if they can, maybe it becomes something that could work. She likes all the other things about him. It's just this one thing that he has, this one little peccadillo. I'm sure she's got her own little things that she's hung up on. I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah, she has to decide if it's a deal breaker for her boundaries. Like,
100%.
He's a super nice guy. He's sweet. He does dishes, but he just has this bad habit of murdering people. I mean, I guess it was a deal breaker.
God damn it.
Oh, Ted Bundy.
You're exactly right. Everybody's got their line, and she just needs to figure out where it is.
I think that you have to. Well, number one, you cannot be insecure and go out with somebody like this and learn this stuff and just say you have to be transparent. Okay, yeah, you have to be transparent. However, I don't know how many people would want to be in a relationship like that. So you have to know who you are inside.
He needs to get on a kink dating app or something. I don't know. I'm sure.
Kinky web. I don't know if that's a thing, but hey, I just made it up.
I mean, it sounds like at the beginning he was, because if the way she describes is the chat rooms and dating sites, that's not just watching a video passively. That's interacting.
Yeah.
Whether it's the what is it? The fake social, what is that called? Where you feel like the YouTuber or whatever.
They're making
parasocial relationships.
I don't know if he's having parasocial sexual relationships or whether they're literal online sexual relationships. But
not that I want to learn about it. I just need to.
I think that you might be onto something, Bruce. I mean, because I don't know. Once I've heard that, I swear I hear parasocial all the time now. But I can see people.
So I don't know if that's what the guy is doing or if the guy is literally having one-on-one interactions, which is where you guys were going like, they should break up. He should find somebody one-on-one to do this with. He may be into these more parasocially.
This is what Sarah Dawn is saying is like one of the main contributing factors to a deteriorating relationship is because when you're getting so caught up in this dopamine release through pornography and these whatever interactions he's having, and usually not focused on women's pleasure can be degrading. That's how women view it, because you're right. Pornography and these interactions and these OnlyFans is all geared and focused on a man's pleasure. And I could see how that could derail a man's sense of community with his girlfriend or wife going forward. He's looking to get off and not worried about or concerned about her or even understanding of how that even comes about. Or maybe when he's done, maybe he doesn't heed the 30-minute refractory period and just goes to sleep.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
What do you
think?
Bruce, she talks about therapy. They should just go together.
I don't think therapy will work.
I mean, just to talk it out, just to have like a mediator and maybe to help figure. I don't know. I once dumped a fiance because we went to couples therapy. It was very great for me. It was very eye-opening, and she sided with me, and for sure.
It doesn't sound like their communication is very good, and going to individual communication doesn't seem to be solving it.
Doc Hay is right. Unrealistic.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
It's like I just got to make up their mind. Either figure out where your boundary is, like Bruce said.
But Doc K porn does set unrealistic expectations because, you might like have a really good time and be like, oh yeah, let me put this thing on and put my heels on, and
men don't even like that shit.
Sometimes women.
Well, sometimes they do. I do not like. Oh, I'm gonna wear the lingerie and the heels. Like, I don't even give a shit.
Omar has a thing about getting all dolled up. You got to watch that. You can't bring that up.
Or if you're still attracted to somebody after you're married to them, it's not.
Yeah, that's
funny.
True.
I'm like, how about some cheeky panties? Is that good?
Well, they're all going to come off anyway. Sure, you can start that way.
If I'm wearing cheeky panties, you should feel special because they're annoying.
I don't like there you
Just
go.
say it.
I don't even know what cheeky panties mean.
When you got a little booty, when you've got a little cheek hanging out, little booty, little cheek.
Just like a thong, like a G-string.
No, it's just No, just
Oh, I know what you mean. Like it's like
Bottom of
covers.
your
The,
booty
A
is.
pimple mug
I
has to
gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do thongs. Been there, done there. I'm not going back.
It just looks really uncomfortable. I would never expect a woman to wear that comfortably by
Thongs can hurt.
choice.
But no,
Oh,
what I'm
they're
saying
not.
is, I think that, like, the expectation of if you start into that, like, whole, like, in the beginning and the whole, like, I'm wearing these sexy stilettos and like this lingerie I just purchased real quick and like doing it all the time. Yeah, that is not going to last because
Not
porn is
sustainable.
not.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is like a, an anniversary or, something special, or I'm feeling
But
really
even
good.
I'm kind of with Omar. Even then, like I had
would say you
a
do it
friend
with-
that did a whole strip tease, like she had on the jacket and like the whole deal. But he, he's fooled her. It was like, yeah,
Well,
that
because
was my
it's too
friend.
much
They
like
got married after a week of knowing each other. So
that's great.
well,
were-
that's not advisable.
Yeah, right?
But
Oh my god.
But I mean, I know, I get it. Like, it's maybe both of you are into it, but I don't think one can and one can't.
Well, just the
Right.
unrealistic expectations go both ways. Like not everybody's got 12-inch dongs, and not everybody's got like BBLs or whatever lingerie and 12-inch
Sometimes those
heels
big
or
dongs
whatever.
hurt.
Well, I've never had
Sometimes
one.
what'd you say?
Or I've never been assaulted by one, I should say.
I said sometimes those big dongs hurt.
Oh god, yeah. Too much girth.
Well, yeah, it's very much for show. It's not like how it usually goes down, And so it's
Hey,
not
you
even.
know what? I think most women know that. Okay, don't be unrealistic. We get it. We're all
Yeah.
human. And you know what?
I
I've
mean,
learned? People like women's
some girls just like it more than others. I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm just like.
women's.
I understand.
I mean, I'm not saying like it's to that extreme, but yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got different things, man.
Mhm.
But
I
it's just
told
like,
my story over on the when I was on the phone last time, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I
remember.
think
Do you remember?
Yeah, you were saying something about dongs. I don't remember what it was. But it was
No.
something.
it was
Like, oh,
It was
she had a story.
my friends with benefits situation that I had that it was
Oh.
kind of an agreement with because his wife didn't like sex and it's sort of like yeah. Do you remember now?
Yeah, I remember that one.
and I have
Yeah.
one other thing. Omar,
Now
I
I'm
want
showing my
to bring
face. Do what?
Omar, I have another
Yeah.
one, Amy, and Amy, you and I probably relate on so many levels. It's crazy. But Omar, write this down too. Is like I accidentally being the other woman. Accidentally,
Yeah.
because I have been that accidental person and didn't know it. And so that's probably another conversation to talk about too, other than bad dates,
Oh, for
'cause I
sure.
think
That's
more people go through that, and then we're so embarrassed, that happened to us. You know what? There's one thing. If you knew that they're married and you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go along with it and I want to fuck them or
Right.
whatever. Both of you, whatever happens. But what really kills you and hurts you is like you didn't know and they just lied and you believed them. And I was very nonchalant and didn't really give a shit. But
yeah.
if I found out, that's when it became hurtful to me and like shameful for me. So that's another thing.
I'd be
Let's talk about.
pissed.
Let's
That's
talk about it.
extremely delicate topic of conversation that has many different layers.
It does. But like I've been there, and so I don't mean I don't want to offend anybody by it.
Oh, you ain't offending nobody here. Not on Flag. Everybody knows better than that. Come over
I
here
know
to get
that,
offended.
but
Mine wasn't.
it's like people are afraid to talk about things like that too.
Yeah.
They feel like they're the mistress, and I wasn't. I just didn't know.
Well, if you didn't
Yeah.
know, that's one thing. But if you found out and were not okay with it at first, but then acquiesced to it later, then
No, I handled that shit.
Yeah. Not that you did that. I'm just saying there's different layers. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I
But yeah,
think
it's a
that
shitty
sounds
thing to
right.
do.
Right. And then I think sometimes like fucking as again, okay, and I'm gonna stop talking in a second. But I think sometimes you just feel good about somebody giving you the attention where you are at that point, and you just don't ask too many questions if they live long distance, because this guy lived, like, he had a home here in Charlotte, but he lived in La Jolla. Yeah, so I was just like, cool. He's like, money. I was not a very. I didn't want to be tied down to anybody,
Yeah.
But once you find out that he's been doing this the whole time, I really wasn't going out with anybody else. I just, was okay with myself. So I think people forget about those kind of situations too. I know that sounds. I know. I just went into a whole different thing, but
no, you're good.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely you don't search it out. I certainly didn't search it out, and that's not what I want by any means. But yeah.
And what's funny is like most of the people that you meet in those situations are on these like dating sites that this lady is talking about, dating, sex chat, whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Hey Bruce, what do you think about all of this, man? Pornography and unrealistic expectations and lingerie and stilettos and cheeky butt cheeks.
I'm just glad we're not talking
cheeky
about
underwear
anymore.
What are we talking? I know we're getting into all different kinds of areas today.
Well,
I think part of it, half of this to me is like you could replace all this sex stuff with like some other thing, and it could be like, do they have a compatible relationship to the point where there's boundaries, and is it a deal breaker?
Yeah.
And then there's this other half of it, which is kind of like, how do you deal with an addiction if you think you have an addiction, where an addiction is defined as something that is interfering with your ability to do the regular things you would like to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, like, I don't know, like humans need to breathe air. Like we're addicted to air. Like, I mean, in general, it doesn't interfere with our ability to do other things.
We need it.
I mean,
I was about to say the same thing, but are we?
Not really, because it doesn't technically interfere with our ability to do other things, because there's no alternative, right? So if an addiction is sort of like this thing that interferes with your ability to do other things you'd otherwise like to be doing.
Could you live off of helium? Like, could you breathe helium and live?
Oh, geez. No.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just asking the question.
It would be hilarious if we could.
That's right, girl.
So I feel like,
can we do a helium stream?
Oh boy!
Oh my god!
So I feel like there's really two things.
YouTube probably won't let us anyway.
There's two problems wrapped around the axle of this post. One is like dealing with addiction in a relationship, and it could be an addiction to anything, drugs or fly fishing or whatever. This chat room. So that's number one. Number two is then, do they have a compatible relationship or not? Once you figure out what that boundary is for an addiction, and they need to figure that out. And I don't know that Reddit is going to have all the answers for that. But anyway, that's all these people just go to Reddit and get weird answers.
Yeah. Well,
apparently our lungs would explode, according to Miguel. So there's that.
Well, there's the answer to that.
And I believe him.
To Bruce's point, look, I mean, it's these young folks are on the precipice of their youth and not being so young anymore. And so if it's her boundary that she doesn't want somebody that has this kind of issue, then she's got to get out and she's got to do it now. Because if she doesn't, she's going to wake up and she's going to be 40, and then what? Now you wasted 10 years with a guy that can't get over a sex chat addiction.
Very true.
You were unable to adjust your boundaries, and so you've been sitting here for 10 years dealing with this shit and it didn't get any better. And look, it's unlikely to get any better if he's like going to therapy and he's just, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But then again, one of my mods, Nairobi, she does like a pedo catch channel or something. These guys that are like pedophiles, and they catch all of these old men going after kids, right? And what strikes me about those is like the ones that they usually catch are like these old guys. Like 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. I don't know if they're in their 80s, but they're older. And so it tells me, the only reason I say this, because they had an addiction, probably some kind of attraction at a young age that never got better. maybe they went to therapy, maybe they didn't, but they're here and they still have it. And they're like 60, 70 years old, still chasing after 13-year-olds. And so if this guy's 30 years old and he's doing this kind of stuff and he's demonstrated no ability to refrain or change his behaviors, then you can't expect him to change his behaviors. And if you can't do that and you still want to be in a relationship with him, you're going to have to accept him with this, or it's just, that's just how it is. And if you can't, then you got to go, but you got to go now and you got to make the call right now.
I agree.
I have a question. I mean, I have something to say. Okay, so apparently this person is probably not very secure with the person, because if it were me, I would probably not give that many chances.
Yeah.
So insecurity plays a lot into a lot of different things. Because you grasp for love, you grasp for, affection and just companionship,
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I agree. I don't know, Amy, what would you do with this guy that can't stay off of OnlyFans and giving this lady
I'd
money?
move. I'd be done.
Her
gut is telling her already, I'm not okay with this. So set your boundary and
I'm with Amy.
Move on. There's too many great guys out there. Well, actually, are there?
We don't know if there are not.
But right, that's still a question. But no, I would be done. But I don't. What do they say? Don't yuck someone's yum. I mean, if that's what he's into, don't kink shaming.
I'm gonna steal that one.
Oh my gosh, you need to say that one more time so I can. Don't yuck somebody's young.
Yeah, no, don't yuck somebody's yum. Like, someone's eating something or kink shame,
Yeah. Nobody's allowed to kink shame Bruce's feet addiction.
Oh boy.
Leave him alone.
Don't yuck somebody's yum.
Just so you guys know, in all seriousness,
fandom gatekeep.
I don't know if Bruce has a feet fetish or not. He doesn't. I'm trolling Bruce a little bit. It's all in good fun.
I don't dislike the feet. If a special lady friend wants a foot massage, I'll do it.
I dislike the feet. No, man.
See,
take
you
your
have
feet
a
over there.
You wouldn't even rub. You won't even rub lotion.
It depends on how hot the lady is and what stage of the relationship it is.
I don't care. I don't want somebody to rub my feet. I really don't like.
I mean,
I
still have back pain, so I'd be down for a back rub.
I feel like I'm traumatized. Because my grandmother used to ask for foot rubs all the time. I was like, no, ew, gross, disgusting. My brother would be on that.
This goes back to childhood, Omar. Like
it totally does.
You had to rub your grandma's feet. That's why you don't like feet. And you had the Sears catalog butt, and that's why you like butts.
Maybe that's what it is. The underwear section.
Yeah, no. My, you know what? I told you about the guy that I dated in my 20s, and I said no to get married to. He's still in love with me, but anyway, he would not make fun of my feet. He thought they were precious because he was very close with my grandmother, and he would be like, You have your grandma's feet. My grandmother's name was Grace, and she just had that second toe that was just a little longer than the big toe, and she would sit there and like flick it. Well, I never did that because I could do that probably, but
that's an excessive examination of the foot. I feel like
that's a lot of foot information.
What is going on? I feel like if I was trying to woo a lady, I wouldn't start talking about her grandmother.
Well, no, he wasn't. He knew me. I've probably known him for 30-something years now, but no, Bruce, come on.
Well, folks,
I'm just saying that's what I got out of your story.
About your foot fetish, honey.
What? Oh boy.
He doesn't really have foot fetish.
Impersonating. I'm still confused by he even impersonated other people. Like,
did he do that? Oh, I see.
I forgot.
Is
that like catfishing? Like catfishing, or
yeah,
maybe she means role playing. Is that what maybe she means? Yeah, I just was.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how you differentiate the two terms. Probably with intent.
Yeah, I mean, if he's actively trying to bang people, like in real life, that's one thing.
I mean, yeah.
If he's trying to,
still.
role play on the internet with people he's never going to meet ever. That's quite another.
But does he? I mean, does he ever? I wonder if he ever sticks with, has some type of an emotional affair with these people too, or if it's just strictly.
I feel like men don't really do that.
A mental affair.
What,
Oh,
men don't have emotional affairs?
No, I think
No,
since they're talking
mental.
about chatting, I think since they're talking about chatting and chat rooms and all that and dating apps, I think it's totally way more than just like looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
definitely
that's
chatting, but
why
I'm wondering if
that's
it's
why I
just
was
like a one night, or if
that's
it's
why,
the
exactly.
same person over and over, I
That's
guess.
why I
Wait,
was
did we
asking if
finish
it's
this
more
whole thing or
one-on-one or
what? Did we
parasocial
finish it?
because it gets into
Did we
that.
finish the whole thing?
Yeah, we did. We got through it all. We
She doesn't know
concluded
what to
with.
do.
Yeah, no, she just we finished.
The girl needs to
Boyfriend's
move on.
always supportive. I feel like I owe him that. We have very good times. We live together. Our whole experiences, our whole life is in one apartment. I don't want to throw it all away.
Well, they just
He's
need
a
to be
good
friends.
guy.
Okay, I'll give you some advice, people. It's way easier to break up and move someone out of an apartment than it is to be married and get rid of a whole house with
Right?
kids and pets and blah, blah, blah. An apartment, the bar is so low.
Imagine
you just
still
get one
talking about this
U-Haul
at
and you're done.
Exactly. Because if they don't, they're going to be having this conversation when they're both 55 years old.
That's what I said a little earlier. It is really hard sometimes when you just really want that, like, love and like somebody to like just to be with, And I think a lot of people mistake that for or companionship. They mistake companionship for love, and they give for just because they want to be with somebody, And again,
well, they'll put up with anything just because they want it so bad. That's what I've
because they're
seen
insecure and they
some
want something.
people that I'm like, man, how do I? Like, honestly, being single is not so bad. It's not. I'm kind of digging it now, and it's gonna take somebody like, he's gonna.
I've always loved it, and even when I was married, I was like, I just like to be by myself, and I never felt lonely. And I've never been lonely in my life, but there was one time when I knew my ex bad things were going on, and I remember just standing in the kitchen and I was crying my eyes out, and I said, I feel so alone. And I was 7 when my brother was born, so I was basically an only child, But
my brother's
that's why I think people need to like. It's an internal thing where you're insecure, you're uncomfortable, and you just want somebody to be there with you and for you, and so you accept a lot of fucking shit you shouldn't, because you don't have. You want that in your life,
I get it. That's one reason Christmas isn't my favorite time of year, but one reason I really used to hate it is because social media, and I know that it's, what people portray isn't always, what's really going on, but seeing everything you dreamed of up in your face, it can get difficult. But I mean, now I just get my animals a bunch of gifts. So
I know, but sometimes you look at those pictures and you kind of
or wrap up the same toys from last year. You just hide them and rotate them.
Oh my gosh. But sometimes you know who those people are that do those perfect pictures and all that shit. And you know better because I've been there, done that. I spoke to one of the sad things about divorce is you lose friends, right? You have, and Omar, you probably, I don't know how well you know this because you were younger when you got married.
Oh yeah,
right?
You're separating. It's not just divorcing your wife; you're divorcing a family.
You're divorcing everything. Well, I didn't care if I divorced my fucking family because.
Well, I get it, but I know what you mean, though. You're losing friends for sure.
But what I'm saying is, you do usually you lose, friends and For me, friends. I lost just a couple. Most of the ones were my friends, not his. And I spoke to one of them yesterday, and it took me all I had not to cry, because we spoke for so long, and I was like, I have to cry now because I miss her so much, and I learned so much, and I didn't ask questions about him, but I've learned a lot, and everything I learned, I knew. You know what? that's yeah. I'm not going to talk about it, but you know,
Okay.
I don't want to say I was vindicated or anything, but it made me feel like they know that I'm not the person that he made me out to be, and they know who I live with. And
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like you're
is a
separating
really
people.
hard
People
thing.
pick sides, and you know,
But those
hurtful.
were his friends originally, you know, and so I
Yeah.
knew I was going to lose those. But my friends have stayed with me, and when he would reach out to them and be like, "Hey, how's Jen? How's Jennifer?" Most people call me JB, Jennifer Bradley. How's JB doing? And my best friends would say, "Why don't you call her?" You know.
Yeah.
So I knew what was going to happen, and it was just really fulfilling for me to talk to a friend and who saw what I had went through and could see through things. So I don't even know why I went there. I guess because it was on my mind from yesterday, and it made me feel like it made me feel good.
Well, folks, it's been like 2.5 hours, and we're gonna have to wrap up today's episode of Flat. Hey, Jennifer, Amy, Bruce, thank you guys so much for joining us. It was kind of a crazy episode, this one. You know, this one was a little bit
it was all over.
We had a lot of fun. Had a lot of Melissa was in here for a spell. I don't know where she was.
I miss Melissa. Tell her to say hello.
Yeah. You guys
I
are all
appreciate
welcome.
you guys. I've been down. I didn't want to put down this. My old lady dogs. I've decided I'm going to put them down on Tuesday.
No.
And well, they're 16 and 17. They're blind. They're deaf. And it was really my parents that were like, "What are you doing? You know, you need to let them go."
They tell you because
well, I've had my first Yorkie I had to put down. He stopped eating, and his organs were shutting down, and they're fine other than they're blind and they can't, they're deaf. Well, one of them is having some neurological issues, but yeah, it's time. And I'm with my family right now, and yeah, so Tuesday afternoon, y'all think about.
We'll be thinking
so
about.
I appreciate y'all cheering me up. I didn't want to bring down the fun stream, and I still don't want to.
No, you didn't.
But
you didn't bring it down. And like, listen, I lost 2 of mine within 6 months. So I lost one last November, and then one. It was 7 months. Last November and one in June. And they were like twins. They were both adopted from different rescues, but it's hard, and that's since I've had some.
I used to always say it's just us 3 girls, and then I do have another Yorkie, Kiki, and a cat named Phoebe. Yeah. So I always joke you have to have a backup because you don't want to lose one and then not have one. And never in a million years did I think it would be both of them at the same time.
Well, he said you have.
So lesson is you stagger your dogs, and you always have a backup.
That is so true. Hey, Amy and I met.
I'm a big dog lover, if you can't tell.
Me too. I have one lab left, and I had a basset hound for 16 years, and
but
yeah. So, but you know
it's
what?
hard.
Amy, you and I met through.
I just can't tell y'all enough how much this community means, and all Teresa, Stephanie, Tiffany, all you guys, Winks, Bruce, all you guys that I've chatted with actually today. It means a lot. Like it really
Everyone's
does.
got your back, Amy. We do.
I really have grown to love this community. So anyway,
Amy,
I
I'm so glad I met you here, but I'm gonna get your.
You too. But find me on Discord. I'm on Mars. It's Amy_Arkansasy. It's SASSIE.
Hey, you want me to spell Arkansasy and not Arkansas or whatever?
It's Arkansasy, but not a Y and IE. That's me.
I'll write him. I'll send him a message.
You guys are making Dominic cry. Just want you to know.
Don't cry, Dominic.
I know. I don't want to make. I don't want to make it sad. I really don't.
I think this one's for you, Amy. She says, "I look up the poem "Where to Bury Your Dog" by Ben-Hur Lampman. The last line is
what is it? Where to bury your dog?
Where to bury your dog by Ben-Hur.
Another reason is my there's a little cemetery about half a mile down the road, and my family has big an area, and my dad has buried our little Yorkies, and we've had 9, and our poodles. So I really wanted them here, and since I live in Florida now, so that's another reason. But yeah, it's a lot. But
and I'm a big dork. I haven't flown since I lost. Well, I haven't left, like,
Oh,
where
I
I had to
didn't fly. I
fly.
drove with 3 dogs and a
No,
cat
I'm just saying, I
in my
haven't flown
car.
since I lost
It took
my
like 11 and a half hours.
babies I haven't flown since since 23, but I lost my Roy boy, and I'm gonna tell Omar about that because I need his opinion on something. And then my girl Gabby, she was my foster failure, but I haven't flown anywhere. But when I travel and go spend time with friends, I keep their ashes. It's like a baggage with me. Like I
Well,
carry them with me.
I told
And
my mom I'm gonna have so many dogs. I'm not gonna collect ashes. I love them. I just can't do it. I'm not gonna start. I can't. So
Well, you, Amy,
I'll
you and I will
bury the
talk.
ashes.
We'll talk more
But yeah,
about that because I know Omar and like Bruce are like, shut
but
them.
when we were talking about being single early and people being lonely, my first thought about as long as I've got my animals, my babies, which I'm a new cat mom of a little over a year, but I love her.
We gotta talk later. We'll talk.
But yeah, like if I didn't have them, I probably would be way more needy. So yeah, shout out
I
to all
named
the
him
dogs
Kramer
in the
because I'm a
crib for
huge
any
Seinfeld.
Big Brother lovers out there.
His name is Kitty Kramer. Okay, guys.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. We didn't.
I appreciate you guys.
So much.
Sorry.
Omar and Bruce, thank you for having us, and like I appreciate what you do. It is very therapeutic for even me just to come on here and talk.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate all of you guys coming on, and that was a sterling endorsement for dogs, I think.
Right. Dogs rule.
Folks, we will see you guys next Friday. Well, we're going to see you guys tomorrow night. Probably starting.
Oh yeah. What time?
So I'm planning on starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time to do the gingerbread thing, gingerbread houses with the kids. And then when the kids go to bed, we're going to do the other thing that we were talking about.
Just let us know when we can come back on to be with you and do this again.
Oh, whenever y'all want. Whenever you do flat, you guys are welcome.
Okay, awesome.
You guys have links now. Those links they never change. So whenever you want to jump on, just jump on.
Okay.
Hey, sounds like fun. I appreciate it.
But all right, folks. I love you all.
Y'all have a good weekend.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
I'm so glad I got to know you all. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.